Chapter 784, November 25th. On this day, MCMU shocked the world. Guo Shenquan and the other two had successfully advanced to become rank 9 Origin Realm powerhouses. On this day, Su Giqing, Chen Jinhua, and Hu Mingyi stepped into the myriad Dao unification state at the same time. Although they had just broken through and were slightly inferior to rank 8, they still possessed the combat capability of rank 8. On the same day, Fong Ping advanced to the 7th level of the Golden Body, comparable to a weak rank 9 powerhouse. In a single day, the world was turned upside down. On the 17th of November, MCMAU lost the Magic City Catacombs. Huang Jing died in battle, while Wu Quishan and Lu Fengru were unconscious. Everyone thought that MCMU would usher in a low point this time. However, just like in the past, when the old vice-chancellor died in battle, everyone thought that MCMU would fall into a trough. However, Wu Quishan quickly took over MCMAU and did not plunge MCMAU into chaos. Similarly, after Wu Quishan fell into a coma, Fong Ping swiftly took over MCMAU, allowing MCMAU to rise from the bottom in the blink of an eye. This was the order of inheritance. Generation after generation of MCMAU people had held up the sky of MCMAU. For more than 60 years, MCMAU had never declined, no matter how much trouble it faced. MCMAU, Reception Hall. Fong Ping sat in the main seat, while Zhang Tao sat in the guest seat. The hall was filled with experts, all of whom were martial demon sex grandmasters. No one had any objections to Fong Ping sitting in the main seat. Now that Wu Quishan was not around, Fong Ping had appointed himself as the executive vice-chancellor and had begun to officially lead MCMAU. Fong Ping looked around, his heart filled with joy. He picked up the teacup on the table, stood up, and said with a smile, "I'll use tea in place of wine to congratulate all of you for your successful advancement." Everyone raised their glasses and laughed heartily. It was worth congratulating. After downing the first cup, Fong Ping raised his cup and looked at Zhang Tao, saying slowly, "Here's to humanity. Congratulations to China. Victory in the capital. Joy for China." Zhang Tao slowly raised his cup and drained it without saying a word. Fong Ping took a sip, his smile vanishing. He said, "I shouldn't spoil the mood on such a joyous day." However, Fong Ping still had to say that the counterattack should be put on the agenda. Sino Nation had only lost Tian'an Catacombs once since the Great War between the two worlds. Magic City Catacombs was the second time. Tian'an Catacombs counterattack had taken 2 years. We can't wait 2 years for the Catacombs counterattack. Our teachers and students need to gain experience, and we need some resources. It's impossible for us to guard against the powerhouses from Magic City's catacombs every day and night. The slightest bit of carelessness and the absence of the absolute peak might cause a great disaster. On the right, Lu Polus said, "It's necessary to counterattack, but Vice-Chancellor Wu's injuries haven't healed yet. He's still recovering." Fong Ping nodded slightly. He looked at Zhang Tao and asked, "Minister, how long will it take for the Vice-Chancellor to recover?" Zhang Tao pondered for a moment and said slowly, "It depends on luck. Maybe tomorrow, maybe indefinitely." Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. Very quickly, he said, "I've thought about the date of the counterattack. It's January 1st, 2011. On the first day of the new year, he would take back the Magic City Catacombs. There's still more than a month until now. If the headmaster still can't recover in this month, we can't keep waiting." Zhang Tao looked at him and said calmly, "Counterattacking requires strength. Moreover, counterattacking is not suicidal. If the losses were too great, even if they took back the Magic City Catacombs, it would not be worth it. Once MCMU counterattacks, it might not just be the 18 rank 9s and the 12 cities we have now. Do you understand?" Fong Ping nodded and said seriously, "Once I appear in Magic City Catacombs, it might cause more powerhouses to rush here from the restricted area. Magic City Catacombs is Green Wolf King's territory, and Magic City Catacombs Tianji City is managed by Bamboo King. I have some understanding of these two true kings. There are 6 rank 9 powerhouses under Green Wolf King's command. Bamboo King only has 4 rank 9 direct subordinates. As for their divine general, under normal circumstances, One of them is on standby in the true king's hall, while the other is in the royal territory. That's why the war broke out so quickly. The two true kings nearby can at most deploy 8 rank 9 powerhouses to help. Zhang Tao saw that he had even considered this and nodded slightly. Fong Ping said again, also, outside of Magic City Catacombs, there's a royal city near Mount Royal Sea. It belongs to Destiny Royal Court, about 4,000 li away from Mount Royal Sea. With a rank 9 speed, if the royal city comes to help and goes all out, the royal city's master will be more than 6,000 li away from Hope City. If he still wants to maintain his combat strength, he'll need about 3 hours to rush here. The two true king subordinates are not always on standby in Mount Royal Sea. If they rush here, they'll be around the same time. In other words, there are a total of 9 restricted area rank 9s who might come to help. It'll take some time, about 3 hours. If we can settle the battle within 3 hours, then these reinforcements might not arrive. Even if they do, they might not dare to join the battle. Fong Ping took a deep breath and said, however, I'm worried about one thing now. Once MCMU counterattacks, what will the Catacombs' true king's attitude be? Will he join the battle directly, or will he ignore us like usual and let us kill each other? If the true king joins the battle, then the so-called counterattack will become a joke. We're definitely not a match for the true king. Zhang Tao smiled faintly. The Catacombs' true king. Recently, the Catacombs' true king might not have time to care about the outer realm. Before you left, you caused a huge commotion in the king's battlefield. The Life Kings and the others have all rushed to the king's battlefield. The two Catacombs kings might be coming back to life. Compared to the war in the outer realms, these people were more concerned about the situation in the king battlefield. As long as it wasn't a large-scale attack, these true kings wouldn't care. Of course, a rank 9 could not be given up so easily. Once the battle reached its climax and the other party suffered too many losses, the true king would not really leave them alone. When that time comes, we'll have something to say. Zhang Tao paused for a moment before continuing. Also, we need to discuss the timing of the counterattack. According to the information you brought back last time, Shijiang and the West Mountain Catacombs might experience unrest in the near future. Once chaos broke out, Sino Nation would not be able to wage war on all 3 catacombs at the same time. Nowadays, wars are no longer limited to a single city. They happen frequently. Once a war breaks out, it will be a war of the entire cave. Zhang Tao said slowly, Shishan Catacombs isn't that big. There are only 8 cities and 16 rank 9 martial artists. On the other hand, the Shijiang Catacombs were not small. There were a total of 11 cities and 222 rank 9s. If a war breaks out, then we have to consider the other party's participation in the war. At this time, we can no longer think about the Destiny bloodline not participating in the war. No matter how much discord there is between the two majestic courts, they have now entered into cooperation. Some of the wars in the Outer Realms have probably reached the ears of other Outer Realms powerhouses. Tian'an Catacombs suffered heavy losses. The Purple Forbidden Catacombs were destroyed directly. Capital City Catacombs suffered heavy losses. Magic City Catacombs suffered heavy losses too. No matter how stupid these Outer Realm city lords are, they won't sit and watch others die at this time. It's possible that they don't put in much effort. However, as long as the war goes smoothly, these Catacombs powerhouses are still very strong when it comes to winning battles. 38 rank 9 martial artists may start a war at the same time. This doesn't even take into account the Forbidden Land demons. Zhang Tao continued, including the 18 from Magic City, that's 56 rank 9 martial artists. And the outbreak of a war may happen at the same time. This possibility is very high. If a war breaks out here, the Catacombs will feel the pressure. Reinforcements may not arrive quickly, but in order to weaken Sino Nation's strength. At this time, their true king powerhouses will also join forces and launch attacks from multiple catacombs at the same time. The other catacombs may not be fully united now. They need some time to coordinate. However, the 3 major catacombs that I mentioned are already showing signs of joining forces. At this time, the true king will give the order and reach a consensus quickly. 56 rank 9s. Everyone's expression changed slightly. Old Man Li frowned slightly, saying, "What Minister means is that once MCMU counterattacks, the probability of the three major catacombs attacking at the same time is very high." Extremely high, Zhang Tao said slowly. Sino Nation has 24 open passageways. Other than the three major catacombs of Tianan, Capital City, and the Purple Forbidden City, the remaining 21 catacombs may all attack at that time. And these 21 catacombs have a total of 208 cities. Currently, there should be less than 400 rank 9 powerhouses. Some cities currently only have one rank 9. At the moment, there should be around 380 to 390 rank 9 martial artists. There are some places that we haven't explored clearly. And with so many rank 9s, the number of origin path powerhouses should reach 100. Therefore, if an all-out war breaks out, if the absolute powerhouses do not attack, humans will definitely lose. However, all of you also know the situation in the catacombs. After sealing off Mount Royal Sea for many years, the two catacombs' royal court's jurisdiction over the Outland is not as strong as before. Many Outland city lords are also not willing to risk their lives for the royal court. Fong Ping waited for him to speak for a while, frowning, saying, "Minister, are you trying to say that once MCMAU counterattacks, it is very likely that a slight move will affect the whole situation, causing the entire Outland to erupt into an all-out war?" "That's right." Fong Ping gritted his teeth, saying, "Are we just going to let it go like this? If the Magic City catacombs are lost, then so be it. Minister, are you going to stay in Magic City all the time? However, once there is an upheaval in Mount Royal Sea and the minister leaves Magic City, are you going to let those people attack the ground? In the catacombs, they are afraid of death. However, on the ground, these rank 9s are rank 9s who are not afraid of death. At that time, their combat strength will increase exponentially. A rank 9 who is not afraid of death is the scariest. Once 18 rank 9s attack Magic City, the entire Magic City will be destroyed very soon. Therefore, we must fight the Magic City catacombs whether we want to or not. This is not just a personal grudge between MCMAU. If the minister can guarantee that he will stay in Magic City all the time, then I will not be in a hurry to counterattack the Magic City catacombs immediately. I can wait for MCMAU to accumulate enough strength. But we can't afford to wait. Fong Ping took a deep breath, exhaled, and continued. Right now, the Magic City catacombs is like a ticking time bomb. It could blow up Magic City at any time. Not just Magic City, but some of the provinces nearby as well. When that time comes, hundreds of millions of people will die. MCMU can't bear this responsibility. Neither can Fong Ping. Therefore, even if there are some sacrifices, this war must be fought. After Fong Ping finished speaking, he looked at old Zhang for a while. Losing the Magic City catacombs is like planting a bomb in Sino Nation, a bomb that can explode at any time. You understand this better than I do. Zhang Tao glanced at him, saying lightly, "I didn't expect to lose the Magic City catacombs either. Don't look at me like that. I don't want the Magic City catacombs to be lost either. At that time, I thought that I could go to Mount Royal Sea alone. Li Jun stayed behind, so the Magic City catacombs would not be lost. Kid, don't try to deny yourself. You created more than 10 true kings in the king battleground. This is the main reason why Li Jun went to the catacombs. At that time, it was already too late to change the plan. The Battle of Capital City had already broken out. In the whole of Sino Nation, only Zhang Weiyu could fight. However, the Magic City catacombs is full of danger. It is already showing signs of defeat. There is no reason to let Zhang Weiyu risk his life in the catacombs. Provoking 3 to 5 true kings is still within my calculations. Provoking more than 10 true kings was not part of my plan. Zhang Tao had had enough of this guy. He said impatiently, more than 10 true kings. Even Heavenly King Garrison could not provoke them. You are more capable of provoking true kings than Heavenly King Garrison. Seeing that Fong Ping was about to speak, Zhang Tao waved his hand and said, "You provoked so many true kings not only because of you, but also because the king battleground is special. 2 true kings may be hiding there, so there are always true kings watching over there. In short, This matter is over. No one will think about it. Stop thinking about it. Fong Ping took a deep breath and said, I don't think about this. I'm going to talk business with the minister now. The Magic City catacombs must be taken back. Otherwise, the minister will enter the passageway and mess it up. However, there are many passageways open now. Even if the passageways are messed up, it is only a temporary measure. It will be restored soon. As long as the Magic City catacombs are not taken down, the entire Magic City's cultivation environment will deteriorate. If Magic City martial artists want to improve, they can only go to other places. Then Magic City will be considered deserted. There are many martial artists and martial arts universities in Magic City. More than 100,000 martial arts university students, as well as many casual martial artists and government martial artists have gathered here. Hundreds of thousands of martial artists gathered in Magic City. Without the catacombs, many plans will be completely messed up. When Tiannan's catacombs were breached, the minister is clear about the situation there. Tiannan martial artists rushed to different places. Because they were not familiar with other catacombs, they suffered heavy losses. Many people went to other catacombs for the first time, so the death rate was high. I don't want Magic City to be like this. If hundreds of thousands of martial artists in Magic City really rush to different places, there might be chaos. Zhang Tao tapped the table lightly, deep in thought. At this time, there was indeed a dilemma. If the Magic City catacombs were not taken down, it would be a threat. However, if they counterattacked the Magic City catacombs, wars would break out in other places quickly. This might not happen in the past, but now the probability was high. Time speed, Zhang Tao said slowly. You must be fast. If you want to take down Magic City catacombs, you can't be too slow. You must be fast, so fast that even if the true king gives the order, the catacombs everywhere will not be ready for a full-scale war. In an hour, settle the Magic City war. After that, your people will go out of the catacombs to help the other places and quell the war. An hour. Fong Ping frowned. Fong Ping frowned. Zhang Tao said slowly, 1 hour. At this time, the other catacombs and some city lords deep in the city might still be rushing to the front line. The war might not break out. If you can go back to help the other places and give them strong support, the catacombs martial artists are not stupid. They will not continue fighting even if they know it is a suicide mission. This is also the plan with the least losses. However, if you drag it out, a full-scale war will break out in other places. Fong Ping, you must understand that humans now are no match for these people. Below, Old Manly opened his mouth and said, It's not easy to defeat the other party in an hour. Why don't we gather the Sino Nation rank 9s and attack together? First, we will defeat the Magic City Catacombs powerhouses, then quickly go back to help the other places. Compared to the catacombs, our only advantage is that we can quickly deploy troops through the ground. The catacombs are too big, and they still have to transit through Mount Royal Sea. They don't have this advantage. Zhang Tao said softly, It's not that simple. Some rules still exist. The catacombs' true king is not willing to have a full-scale war with us at this time, but it will not let us slaughter the other party at this time either. In other words, we are actually still limited. If we really want to transfer rank 9s, it is not difficult for Sino Nation to transfer 20 rank 9s, excluding the powerhouses who must stay behind to keep watch. Together with the people from MCMAU, defeating the Magic City catacombs will not be a problem. However, once we do this very soon, we will face the counterattack of the entire outer territory, including the restricted area rank 9s. Zhang Tao said a few words, then said, Right now, the restricted area does not care about the outer territory. That is because the war is coming. In fact, the restricted area also has the idea of exhausting the strength of the outer territory in ourselves. However, if we have an absolute advantage, at this time, the situation will be different. Fong Ping continued. That is why we can only do as the minister said, defeat the other party within an hour and return to support the other parties. In addition, we cannot have too many rank 9s. Since the catacombs have 18, we can only deploy 18 rank 9s at most, right? Zhang Tao said lightly, They will not give you this opportunity. Once the humans deploy 10 powerhouses above rank 9, it will mean a big battle. Therefore, the number of people must be as small as possible. So small that the other party's true king thinks that they have a chance of winning. As Zhang Tao said that, he laughed and said, "Do you think that the catacomb's true king is really an idiot? They don't know that Li Chongqing is very strong and can be seen as an originality martial artist? They don't know that Wu Chuan can fight 1 against 2 and is comparable to 2 originality martial artists? They know. Therefore, if you have the idea of letting Wu Chuan, Zhang Weiyu, and the others enter and kill the other party, then it is best to have a few fewer people. The catacombs know quite a lot about our situation. They know what kind of strength these rank 9s have. Therefore, we can't let the other party think that they will lose at first glance. We must immediately unite the thoughts of all parties. The catacombs' true kings are the kind of people who care about their reputation. If they feel that they can win, then they will not let other true kings cooperate for a while. That will only cause them to lose face." Zhang Tao was very clear about these true kings' thoughts. He laughed and said, "Try to limit the number of rank 9s to less than 10. Moreover, they must not be the absolute powerhouses. It is best if Zhang Weiyu and the others do not appear here. When Green Wolf King and Bamboo King see that the chances of winning are very high, they may not even send their direct rank 9s to help at this time. They will not immediately call for all parties to attack the moment you enter. What we are fighting for is the time difference. If you defeat the other party quickly, Magic City Catacombs will no longer be able to fight. If you return to help all parties, the battle will not break out so easily." After saying that, Zhang Tao added, "Also, don't just look at the rank 9s. There are about 30 rank 8 martial artists in Magic City's 12 cities and about 100 rank 7 martial artists. These people are nothing if they are alone. If they join forces, they are also extremely powerful." Fong Ping fell in a deep thought and did not speak for a while. After a few seconds of silence, Fong Ping asked, "If we defeat the powerhouses in the 12 cities this time, do we have hope of getting their mineral veins?" Humans were constantly waging war in the Outland. Weakening the catacomb's strength was one thing, but the key was still resources. After so many years of war, resources were the most important thing. Otherwise, humans would not take the initiative to start a war when they were weak. However, if they did not fight, humans were in a situation where energy was thin and energy stones were almost non-existent. Under such circumstances, if they did not kill the enemy and seize resources, how could humans have so many martial artists? Sino Nation said that there were 4 million martial artists. If they really only defended and did not attack, then they would return to the situation 100 years ago, where there were 10,000 martial artists. That was why humans fought desperately. Even if they could not defeat the other party, they would often take the initiative to start a war. In fact, most of the reason was still to seize resources and strengthen themselves, so that humans could have a fighting chance in the all-out war. The glory of the Neo-Martial era was also built on the foundation of counterattack. If they followed the strategy of the Saturn era, with only those powerhouses guarding, there would not be the prosperity of the Neo-Martial era, and there would not be 4 million martial artists in Sino Nation today. More than 10 paragons at most see some resources for their own descendants. The others completely relied on their own cultivation, and even rank 3 was difficult. Mineral veins. Zhang Tao shook his head and said, "Do you think the catacombs martial artists are really idiots? They can tolerate us seizing some resources to cultivate and strengthen ourselves. But mineral veins are a big taboo. They also know that we are in urgent need of resources. There are many humans. Other things aside, with more than 1 billion people in Sino Nation, are there really only a few million people suitable for martial arts? Absolutely not. The main thing is that we can't afford it. If we can really afford it, 1 in 10, Sino Nation alone can give birth to 100 million martial artists. Therefore, every time there is a war, the catacombs do not care how many people die. They do not care about other things, but they absolutely do not allow humans to obtain large amounts of resources. A mineral vein may be able to give birth to hundreds of thousands of martial artists. Why would they give us a chance? If you seize the mineral vein, they will dare to break out into an all-out war, killing until rivers of blood flow. For so many years, we have only seized some energy mines in Capital City back then, and here in the Magic City catacombs. That was also the price paid by King Huai himself. He felt that he could win, so he gambled a mineral vein. But once there is a first time, no one will gamble with you a second time. The key is that now we can't recreate the situation back then and invite a battle in advance. If we do that, then everything will be exposed and we will not be able to fight because of the time difference. Without reaching an agreement with the catacombs' true king in advance, seizing their mineral vein will not work. They would rather destroy it than give it to the humans. Some small mines are not included. If we can conquer some affiliated cities and towns, we can still take some small mineral veins. This has been our main source of resources for the past few years. Fong Ping frowned. If that was the case, seizing the mineral vein would not work. Even if they conquered the Magic City catacombs this time, the harvest would be limited. After thinking for a while, Fong Ping suddenly said, "Maybe we can try again. Minister, I want to go to the Magic City bounded zone first. The Jiao is not dead yet. The last time it almost died in the hands of King Huai. It must be unwilling. If I go contact the Jiao, maybe I can contact a group of demons. We don't need them to participate in the battle. When we fight, let these demons break the city from behind. The demons in the Forbidden Land may not dare to do it. But what about the demons in the bounded zone?" Fong Ping's eyes flickered. There are many demons in the bounded zone too. If the war starts, the demons in the bounded zone will leave the bounded zone to attack the major cities and seize the mineral veins. The true king may not dare to massacre the demons in large numbers, right? Everyone was a little dazed. You still want to contact the Jiao? The last time you tricked it, it almost lost its life. Now it's hard to say if it's still alive or not. King Huai punched through the air and destroyed the other's golden body. Is it really still alive? Even if it is, will it have the guts to continue working with you? Besides, the Jiao is only a rank 8 demon. A rank 8 demon may not be able to change anything. Although there are demons in the bounded zone, under normal circumstances, they will not leave the bounded zone. Fong Ping is not a demon king. How can he negotiate with these demons? The Jiao. If Fong Ping had not mentioned it, Zhang Tao would have almost forgotten about this demon. Hearing Fong Ping say that he wanted to enter the bounded zone and find this demon to work with, Zhang Tao laughed. "You won't stop until you kill it?" Fong Ping shook his head. "It's just a cooperation. The Jiao is not stupid. It will only do things that benefit it. We kill people, and it goes to seize the mineral veins. This time, it will be really easy to seize the mineral veins. If we really seize the 12 mineral veins, then there will be a reason for it." Fong Ping licked his lips and laughed. After the Jiao seizes the mineral veins, it will probably return to the bounded zone. But can it defend it? It doesn't have a storage ring. No matter how much it devours, how much can it devour? When the time comes, I will go to the bounded zone and directly take those mineral veins. Then the mineral veins will be ours again. Everyone looked at him. What a black-hearted person. Last time, he almost tricked that demon to death. This time, he actually wanted to do it again. As for how Fong Ping would enter the bounded zone, if he did not go through the passageway, then he could only go through Mount Imperial Sea. Perhaps he could even cooperate with them from the inside. Also, the war has not started yet, and you have already taken care of the mineral veins. You are very confident. Zhang Tao thought for a while and said, "We'll see. MCMAU has not confirmed it yet. Also, this matter needs to be discussed with many parties. I will give you an answer in a few days." "Okay." Fong Ping responded and did not say anything else. This matter was indeed not something that could be decided in a flash. If he were to count on MCMAU to conquer the Magic City catacombs alone, it might not be feasible. Maybe they still needed a batch of reinforcements. Old Wang's NMAU, Old Yao's FMS. These two fellows are the school's helmsmen. Maybe this time it's time to move. Chapter 785. After writing half a chapter, Old Eagle was dozing off. When he took a look, what the heck? Old Eagle deleted it. In February, when he said that he wanted to compete for the monthly votes, Old Eagle had originally planned to update 3 chapters a day and update from time to time to take first place. However, he didn't know if it was the influence of the new year or if he wasn't in the right state of mind. But he hadn't been writing with any passion recently. In fact, the plot had deviated a little. After coming out of the Forbidden Zone, he had originally planned to happily act as 13, but he ended up writing too smoothly. He didn't manage to write this climax and instead caused Old Eagle to fall into a bottleneck. Give me some time to adjust. It just so happens that there's been a lot of things going on at home recently. People come and go, and Old Eagle's train of thought is interrupted every time. It's not suitable for him to hide in his room and not go out. If he goes out, he'll lose track of what to write, and the more he writes, the more headaches he'll have. So, there's only 1 chapter today. He still has to visit his relatives tomorrow and the day after, so there might be fewer updates. However, Old Eagle said that he would update 3 chapters a day. He wouldn't go back on his word. No matter how much he owed, he would definitely make up for it when the new year is over and he's not busy. He still owes me a chapter on the basics, so I'll remember it. As for the reward I owe, just treat it as if I've temporarily forgotten about it. This is another matter, and I don't dare to think about it. My deepest apologies. Plans can't keep up with changes. For the sake of the plot not collapsing, my brothers, please forgive me. Also, one more thing, Gawu has written 4 million words. Just treat it as me, Old Eagle, writing 4 million words and letting myself fly for 2 days. Take a break. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor. Chapter 786. In the living room, everyone discussed for a while. Zhang Tao did not stay long. Before he left, he said to Fong Ping, "If you want to enter the Magic City Catacombs, it'll be difficult. The true king of the Magic City Catacombs is watching. If you want to enter through the entrance and impersonate someone else, it'll be difficult." Fong Ping smiled. "I've observed it. It's fine even if I don't go through the entrance. As long as Absolute Peak is willing to send me through Mount Royal Sea, it'll be fine too." The difference between the inside and outside of the catacombs depended on Mount Royal Sea. As long as Absolute Peak brought him along to protect Fong Ping from being cut by the space rift when he passed through Mount Royal Sea, no one would know even if he concealed his aura. Upon hearing this, Zhang Tao glanced at him. Is this brat planning to scheme against the Battle Kings? He did not even mention asking him to send him this time. Zhang Tao did not say anything else. He smiled and left. Even though Fong Ping had reached rank 8's 7th refinement, he still did not notice. After he left, Fong Ping looked at everyone and said slowly, "Instructors, get ready. Those who need to consolidate their realm, those who need to go into closed-door cultivation, go into closed-door cultivation. The counterattack is imperative." After a brief discussion, everyone left. Although many people had broken through this time, no one mentioned anything about the Grandmaster Banquet. Huang Jinggang had fallen, and no one was in the mood. After everyone left, Old Man Li stayed behind. He glanced at Fong Ping and said, "There are too many people. Now that the counterattack time has been confirmed, aren't you afraid of accidents?" Fong Ping smiled. "The time is uncertain. I'm just giving a rough time. It might be earlier or later. We'll see how it goes." Fong Ping was about to say a few more words when Chen Yunxi hurried over. Seeing Chen Yunxi, Fong Ping immediately realized something. As expected, Chen Yunxi saw Fong Ping and said hurriedly, "Instructor is awake." Finally, Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Lu Fengru had been in a coma since she came back. She was finally awake. Without saying anything else, Fong Ping and Old Man Li hurried toward the cultivation room. In the cultivation room, Lu Fengru's face was slightly pale. Seeing Fong Ping and the others rushing over, she looked around. She did not see Wu Quishan. Old Man Li glanced at her, probably knowing what she was thinking. He laughed and said, "Old Wu is not dead. The two of you have been divorced for more than 10 years. Does this count as a divorce now?" "Not dead?" Lu Fengru breathed a sigh of relief. She looked at Fong Ping and smiled. "You saved us?" When Fong Ping arrived, she was already on the verge of death. She had no idea what was going on. Fong Ping did not reply. Old Man Li laughed and said, "It's lucky that this kid came in time. If he came any later, we'd all be dead. How are the others? Where's Wu Quishan? Old Wu is in seclusion. Old Manly paused for a moment, then smiled. This time, Old Wu might really have profited from his misfortune and entered a desperate situation. Fengru, you've really picked up a great bargain. Look at the student you've taken in. Your ex-husband relied on him to reach rank 9. Now, even the pinnacle has to rely on him. Lu Fengru rolled her eyes. She was in a much better mood, but she quickly remembered that Old Man Li did not answer her earlier question. Thinking of this, Lu Fengru's expression changed slightly. She asked in a low voice, "Where are the others?" Seeing that everyone was silent, Lu Fengru forced a smile again. "Why? Am I, Lu Fengru, that weak in your eyes? Who died?" Old Huang. Lu Fengru fell silent. After a long time, she sighed softly. "I've always thought that Huang Jing's character is steady." Quishan also said before that back then, between Huang Jing and Quishan, the vice-chancellor was actually biased towards Huang Jing. He wanted Huang Jing to continue leading MCMAU. However, at that time, Huang Jing's ability was on the weaker side. In the end, the old man chose Quishan. Before the Battle of Sky Gate, Quishan said that if he died, Fang Ping was still young. He would entrust the school's affairs to Huang Jing. Lu Fengru could not continue. She fell silent for a moment. Seeing this, Fang Ping smiled and said, "Instructor, you've just recovered from your injury. You should rest more. I'll take care of these things. Your student is now the official acting vice-chancellor. You should be happy. Think about it. Your husband is the vice-chancellor. Your student is also the vice-chancellor. Your student might also become the vice-chancellor in the future. That's something to be happy about." Also, Fang Ping deliberately dragged out his words, chuckling. "Instructor, you've just recovered. I'm afraid you still don't know that I've broken through to rank 8 7th level. I have rank 9 combat strength. Also, Instructor Gua and the others have broken through to rank 9. Instructor Li has also broken through to rank 8 7th level. The Vice-Chancellor has a chance to pinnacle. Also, Fang Ping briefly told her about the recent events. Lu Fengru seemed to have forgotten the sadness from earlier. Hearing this, she smiled and said, "If that's the case, the number of Grandmaster powerhouses in MCMAU is almost uncountable." After saying that, she said with some dissatisfaction, "Fang Ping, don't forget that I'm your instructor. You, on the other hand, gave some good things to outsiders. Look at Li Changsheng, that old thing. What rank is he now? I'm only middle stage rank 7 now. Haven't you considered helping me increase my rank?" Hearing this, Fang Ping smiled immediately. "I've left some good things for you this time. When your injury has completely recovered, I've also saved some heavenly golden lotus and golden body fruit. Instructor can almost enter rank 8. Instructor, you have to work hard. Otherwise, when the Vice-Chancellor reaches pinnacle, you'll only be rank 7. How embarrassing." "So, what if he enters pinnacle?" Lu Fengru looked indifferent. Old Man Li suddenly laughed. "Then you'll be the pinnacle's wife. The only pinnacle's wife who's still alive. Isn't that enough?" Everyone burst out laughing. Speaking of which, nowadays, almost all the spouses in Impasse were dead. Whether those pinnacle in Star Town were men or women, Fang Ping and the rest actually did not know. However, almost all of them were single. That was for sure. After chatting for a while, Lu Fengru had just recovered. Everyone did not stay for long and quickly dispersed. Lu Fengru also began to recover from her injuries. When she was in a coma, her injuries had not fully healed. Coming out of the cultivation room, Fang Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Instructor is awake. Now, only the Vice-Chancellor is left. When the Vice-Chancellor is awake, it'll be much better. Having said that, Fang Ping looked at Chen Yunxi, who was beside him, and said, "Take a look at the current rank 6 martial artists in the university. Tell them that I've obtained many opportunities left behind by the seniors in the land of martial kings this time. I've obtained a lot of vitality and mentality. Try your best to help them complete the rank 6 Sanjiao Gate Seal." "All right," Chen Yunxi responded. She did not ask in detail, nor did she say anything more. Passive vitality and mentality existed. Fong Ping had obtained them once before, and they had helped many instructors complete their cultivation from the lower ranks to the middle ranks. However, this time it was targeted at rank 6. Fong Ping meant to inform all rank 6 martial artists. This was not a matter of a little gain. There were many rank 6 martial artists in the school. Chunyanchi did not ask. Very soon, she went to busy herself. She had more things to do recently. She did not ask, but Old Man Li transmitted his voice. Is this appropriate? It's fine if it's an individual's advancement. There are many rank SIXS in the school. Based on this situation, if you're going to elevate everyone to peak rank 6, you'll need to obtain at least 100 seniors remains. Are there so many seniors remains in the king battlefields? Once this gets out, Fong Ping, although there are some things that everyone doesn't say, it doesn't mean that they don't understand. When that time comes, if the Paragon feels that it's necessary for you to help all Sino Nation martial artists to advance quickly, there'll be big trouble. After all, you don't have the Paragon's combat strength. Old Man Li paused for a moment and said, in the eyes of the Paragon, there are many things that they might not want to do. However, for the sake of the big picture, for the sake of all mankind, they'll do it even if they're condemned by everyone. Although you're valued by the Paragon, you still have to take it easy. Fong Ping was silent for a moment. Then he said, actually, some things can't be hidden anymore. I can change my aura. I can even hide it from the true kings. The current desperation powerhouses might not have thought that I can help others cultivate. Even if they didn't mention it, it doesn't mean that they don't know. Instructor, think about it. Don't you have such doubts? Instead of letting others guess, why don't I tell everyone directly that I do have such an ability? At this day and age, is it really more important to mass-produce rank 6 martial artists than me? I've already entered rank 8-7 stage. I'm comparable to a weak rank 9 martial artist. Everyone can see the speed of my improvement, and it's impossible for me to conceal some things. I can't conceal my improvement speed or stop cultivating altogether. That's just waiting for death. Do I have hopes of reaching the Paragon? I think the chances are very high. Those Paragon should be able to feel it too. Is it more important to create a batch of peak rank 6 powerhouses, or am I more important? I'm not just representing myself. If the Vice-Chancellor has really advanced to the Paragon, the Vice-Chancellor and I are also one. You too. I think most of the people in MCMAU are the same, including Wang Jinyang and the rest. Fong Ping actually understood. He smiled and said, if it's for the sake of the big picture, then I'm more important. There's no doubt about this. And if the Paragon's selfishness is so heavy that they'll abandon me, abandon MCMAU, and abandon some powerhouses who have hopes of reaching the desperation realm just for a little bit of personal gain. If that's really the case, humanity is already hopeless. If the Paragon is like this, can we still hope that these people will really risk their lives for humanity and the enemy during the Great War? Fong Ping took a deep breath and smiled. So I believe that even if they guessed it, they'll choose to ignore it. What if? They won't kill me, right? Fong Ping chuckled, regaining his composure. If they don't kill me, then there's no problem. It's still more important to increase MCMAU's combat strength. Moreover, I have to pay the price for doing all this. If those Paragon are really willing to pay the corresponding price, it might not be impossible. Old Man Li pondered for a moment and did not say anything more. Starting from November 26th, Fong Ping started helping those rank 6 martial artists to advance. He told the outside world that he had robbed the entire rank 7 region this time and obtained a lot of resources and relics, including those vitality and mentality. Of course, this was actually only for martial artists who knew about the situation of the King Battleground. As for whether everyone believed it or not, Fong Ping did not care. Whether they believed it or not, the rank 7 region was almost destroyed. Right now, the others did not know about these situations either. Days like this had been going on continuously. MCMAU had once again entered a dormant period. These days, even the Catacombs battles had lessened. The Catacombs' true kings were now aiming at the King Battleground. They were holding a 100 Kings conference. Even some of the originally decided strategies had been changed. They did not care about the human side for the time being. In the blink of an eye, it was December. In December, the Martial Arts Association updated the latest martial arts ranking list. This time, Fong Ping did not mention anything about entering the ranking list. MCMU almost did not care about this. However, this time, the ranking list was updated. MCMU still attracted a lot of attention. This time, there were new people in the rank 9 ranking list. MCMU Guoshengquan and the other two had advanced to rank 9. FMS Nan Yunping had advanced to rank 9. CCMU's vice-chancellor had finally advanced to rank 9. Wang Qinghai, who had been in closed-door cultivation previously, had also advanced. Wang Qinghai had originally planned to go to the Magic City catacombs, but his golden body had been honed to a new stage. He would soon achieve rank 9. Everyone knew about Wu Quishan's situation, but they did not let this kind of powerhouse who was about to advance to help. The loss outweighed the gain. Moreover, the help that a peak rank 8 martial artist could bring was limited. This was also the highest number of people who had advanced in all these years. After the last update of the original rank 9 ranking list, including some people from Star City, the number had reached 42. This time, there were 6 people who had newly advanced to rank 9. Recently, no rank 9 had fallen, including Zhao Xingwu. He had not been removed from the list and was still in the ranking list. After this update, the number of people in the rank 9 ranking list had reached 48. Among them, Wu Quishan was still ranked 24th, Guoshengquan, and the other two were ranked 28th, 29th, and 30th respectively. Among the other 3 newly advanced rank 9 powerhouses, CCMU's vice-chancellor was ranked 46th, Nan Yunping 47th, and Wang Qinghai was ranked 48th at the bottom of rank 9. 48 rank 9s. MCMU had 4 rank 9s in the list. In addition to Wu Chuan and Tian Mu, the 2 rank 9 who had graduated from MCMU, MCMU's reputation had spread all over the world. In the rank 8 ranking list, MCMU had created glory again. The first place in rank 8 was firmly occupied by Old Man Li Unshakable. Second place in rank 8, Devil King Fong Ping was impressively in the list. Rank 8 7 Forging Golden Body, rank 9 Combat Boots, rank 8 Divine Armor. Fong Ping had also left behind by Shan Yue's rank 9 Battle Axe, but he did not wear it, nor did he use it. With such strength and various tricks, no one would doubt that he was ranked second in rank 8. There were 48 people in the rank 9 ranking list. This time, there were more people in the rank 8 ranking list, from less than 100 people in the past to 108 people last time. Until this time, after the rank 8 ranking list was updated, there were a total of 136 people. Even if Guoshengquan and the other 6 promoted powerhouses were excluded, the increase was still huge. And all this was related to the brain core cultivation method that Fong Ping brought back. Many rank 7 powerhouses had recently made rapid progress, completing cranial honing and advancing to rank 8. This included Chen Jinhua and the others. This time, they were also treated as rank 8, just that their ranking was lower. Other than MCMU occupying the first and second place in the rank 8 ranking list, the last 3 in the rank 8 ranking list were Chen Jinhua, Su Giqing, and Hu Mingyi. Lu Polu ranked 104th. Li Hansong ranked 119th. In the rank 8 ranking list, there were 136 people. MCMU occupied 7 places. The rank 7 ranking list had also changed greatly. The number of rank 7 martial artists had increased from 403 to 412 this time. It did not seem to increase much, but there were many martial artists who had advanced to rank 8. This meant that in these days, there were dozens of martial artists who had advanced to rank 7. 10 years, not only for MCMAU, but also for Sino Nation's martial arts. In this year, although many powerhouses had fallen, there were even more newly born powerhouses filling in the gaps. In the past, there were only 33 people in the rank 9 ranking list. After Axe King's fall, there were only 32 people. Now, although there were people from Polaris City on the ranking list, there were also more and more newly promoted rank 9 powerhouses. In the rank 7 ranking list, there were even more people in MCMAU. Tang Feng, Lu Fengru, Qin Fengqin, Luo Yichuan, Zhang Jianhong, Fan Hua, Liang Yuqin, Zhou Shiping, Su Jianzhou. High-rank martial artists, 4 rank 9s, 7 rank 8s, 9 rank 7s. Exactly a huge number of 20 people. And this did not seem to be enough to shock people. This time, MCMAU had also set a new record, turning the entire rank 6 ranking list into a list of 100 people at Mentality Vitality Unity. In the past, peak rank 6 martial artists could generally enter the rank 6 ranking list. This time, the 100 rank 6 powerhouses, without exception, were all powerhouses at Mentality Vitality Unity. And MCMAU, once again, came out on top, shocking people. Both Chen Yunxi and CLA had entered Mentality Vitality Unity as students, occupying 2 places. Song Yingji, Bai Ruoxi, Zhang Yu, Yi Qing, Liang Fenghua, and some veteran instructors. A total of 15 instructors had entered Mentality Vitality Unity. On the list of 100 people, MCMU occupied 17 places, and this was only the Mentality Vitality Unity. As for rank 6, many people in MCMAU did not make the ranking list, but the number of peak rank 6 instructors in MCMAU had been increasing day and night these few days. 17 Mentality Vitality Unity actually meant 17 potential Grandmasters. However, these people had just achieved Mentality Vitality Unity, so their progress was too fast. It was also relatively difficult for them to quickly step into the Grandmaster realm. Currently, none of them had become Grandmaster-level powerhouses. Even so, 17 Mentality Vitality Unity still made people speechless. Not to mention the hundreds of peak rank 6 martial artists. In November, MCMAU had an explosion, shocking everyone. There were even more rank 5 martial artists. This time, it was not the instructors who took the lead. A large number of students advanced to peak rank 5. Zhao Xuemei, Yang Xiaoman, Fu Changding, Zhao Lei. These people broke through to rank 5 slightly later. Fang Ping only helped the rank 6 martial artists seal their Sanjiao Gate and did not pay much attention to them. However, these people received a lot of resources and advanced to peak rank 5 one after another, beginning to flood toward rank 6. When the ranking list came out, the outside world was in an uproar. Fang Ping, on the other hand, had a rare rest. These few days, in order to help those rank 6 instructors and students cultivate, he did not sleep or rest, constantly consuming his own vitality and mentality to help. This was a matter that consumed a lot of mentality. Even so, Fang Ping was still very satisfied. In MCMAU, there were almost no rank 6 martial artists in the middle to upper stages, unless they had just broken through and did not have time to help. As for the others, he had quickly sealed their Sanjiao Gate. In the office, at this moment, Fang Ping was not holding the ranking list in his hand. Instead, he was holding the list of the university's instructors and students' abilities, as well as the distribution table of instructors and students of various abilities. 815 instructors. The feedback from the military department is not here yet. Originally, the number of MCMAU instructors had reached 1033. Later, 5 martial artists who were resurrected came, making the number as high as 1038. However, in the 2 battles, 20% of MCMAU instructors had fallen. It had to be said that this ratio was extremely high. When the war started, many students lacked combat experience. A large number of instructors risked their lives. Most of the time, the instructors actually died to protect the students. This was also an important reason why MCMAU students were more eager to become stronger. The instructors dared to fight. In order to reduce the students' burden, they fought to the end. In the 2 battles, the number of casualties was extremely high. 815 people, 20 high-rank martial artists, 125 rank 6 martial artists, 560 rank 5 martial artists, 110 rank for martial artists. This was the strength of MCMAU instructors. Almost all rank 6 martial artists had peak strength, including the 15 instructors who were at Unity of Vitality. If it were not for some powerful instructors who had fallen, perhaps the number of instructors at Unity of Vitality could exceed 20. 9,907 students. Originally, There were more than 5,200 senior students in the three batches and slightly more than 5,000 new students. After Fong Ping eliminated some of them, and more than 300 people had fallen, there were less than 10,000 students now. Close to 10,000 students, the increase in strength was also extremely terrifying. There were not many rank 6 students. There were only 2, Chen Yunxi and CLA. One was close to being thrice honed, and the other was thrice honed. With Fong Ping's help, both of them had entered peak rank 6 this time. Fong Ping took special care of both of them. Both of them consumed some fruit of nourishment and entered unity of vitality. There were 2 rank 6 students, not many. However, the number of rank 5 students was much larger. There were 1,080 of them. There were even more rank 4 students, 2,450. There were more than 3,500 middle-rank students. Including the instructors, MCMU middle-ranked martial artists had already reached more than 4,000. Almost all the other students had entered rank 3. There were more than 5,000 rank 3 students. MCMU had entered the era of martial artists as early as September when school started. Now that 3 months had passed, the new students did not lack resources. With the unrestricted supply of energy stones, there was no need to worry about resources from rank 1 to rank 3. They were improving rapidly. There were only slightly more than 1,000 rank 1 and 2 martial artists in MCMU now. Rank 1 and 2. Fong Ping glanced at the data and raised his head to look at Chen Yunxi opposite him. He took a breath and said, "The energy stone supply has been unrestricted. It's difficult for other schools to even obtain vitality pills. We're using the energy stones used by middle-ranked and high-ranked martial artists. We're even using cultivation-aiding energy stones. Rank 9. It can be said that in the whole country, no, in the whole world, there's no place more extravagant than us. Not even the big sacred lands. They have the martial arts tower, but they recycle it, not like us, directly absorb and digest it. I've even used energy liquids. This is a treatment that the sacred lands don't have. Forget about the sacred lands. Even in the catacombs, other than those descendants of the true king, no one is more extravagant than MCMU. In this way, there are still people who haven't advanced to rank 3. There's a threshold between middle stage and upper stage rank 3. I know this. That's why I can understand the students stopping at rank 3. But these 1,000 people, what's going on?" Fong Ping's expression did not look too good. He said in a low voice, "The resources are so expensive. Even the pinnacle is saying that I'm wasteful and that I don't know how to save. The Wuhan military, which is directly under the 3 departments and 4 prefectures, doesn't even consume 1/10 of the resources I provide. I'm spending money to buy time. I'm buying time for everyone. Everyone should cherish opportunities like this and not be ignorant at this time. The new students have only been in school for 3 months. With sufficient resources, I can understand why they haven't reached rank 3 in 3 months. But I've looked around. Among the new students, there are only about 1,200 people who haven't reached rank 3. In other words, there are close to 200 students who are sophomores and above who haven't reached rank 3. Fong Ping paused for a moment and continued, "Since last year, I've been constantly creating opportunities for everyone and constantly providing resources for everyone. Vice-Chancellor Liu and the others even said that what I'm doing is completely wasteful. The sophomores have been in school for 15 months now. Before, they could borrow money. After that, they provided everything for free. In 15 months, a group of martial artists who were hailed as geniuses have spent countless resources and still haven't reached rank 3. Fong Ping chuckled. Back then, everyone was fighting for one vitality pill. Under those circumstances, there were still students who could enter rank 4 or even rank 5. It's not uncommon to see rank 3 students. Normal martial arts universities don't have as much resources as us, but they still have many rank 3 students. They spent 4 years, which is the longest. As for us, our starting point is higher than theirs. Our resources are 1,000 times more abundant than theirs. We don't even have to do missions." As Fong Ping said this, his expression turned ugly. "I'm afraid it's not that they can't. They're unwilling. In a team of 10,000 students, many of them are very young. In a short period of time, hundreds of MCMEU instructors and students have died. Is there really no one who isn't afraid of death? I don't believe that there's no one who isn't afraid of death. But I've given many people a chance. If you're afraid of death, you can leave MCMEU. In MCMEU, you've used up a lot of resources. That means you have to participate in the war. These 200 or so non-freshman students, Fong Ping took a deep breath. Opposite him, Chen Yunqi's expression changed slightly. She said softly, Fong Ping, are you really not going to give them a chance? Not anymore. Fong Ping sighed. Since they're not willing to fight for MCMEU and for humanity, why waste resources and time in the school? They even have to suppress their cultivation speed. How painful is that? 15 months is at least equivalent to 6 years of martial arts university students' cultivation, maybe even longer. MCMEU students, after 6 years of cultivation, can't they really reach rank 3? Yunqi, do you believe it? Chen Yunqi shook her head. She did not believe it either. No one who could enter MCMEU was an idiot. They were well versed in both the pen and the sword. Under these circumstances, the golden period of cultivation was equivalent to more than 6 years of cultivation for MCMEU students. This was only for sophomores. For juniors, it was even longer. Why can't they enter rank 3? If they can't, it means they don't want to. In today's war, high ranks are the main force. Middle ranks are also the main combat strength. Rank 3s are the support. Rank 1s rarely go to the battlefield. Let them leave. Fong Ping sighed. Then he smiled and said, Rank 1 and 2 martial artists don't waste much resources. Forget it. After all, we're classmates. I don't want to look into it anymore. These 200 or so non-freshman students are expelled. Whoever wants to take them can take them. Under these circumstances, they're not willing to cultivate properly. They've even given up the opportunity in front of them. Maybe I'm too good to them, making them think that resources are everywhere. More than 9,900 students. More than 200 have been eliminated. There are still more than 9,000 left. Fong Ping paused and said, From today onwards, MCMEU will implement the last place elimination system. Middle ranks can't enter the assessment. From now on, martial artists in the 3 lower ranks will be directly eliminated if they rank in the last 100 every month for 2 consecutive times. When martial artists reach the middle ranks, when MCMU's counterattack ends, the middle-rank martial artists will also undergo assessment. The assessment criteria will be based on battle results, contribution, and loot from the catacombs. If they don't meet the standards, these people won't be qualified to leave the university. Send them to the military department to carry out garrison missions. Repay the resources consumed during the university period. Come up with some plans and tell everyone about this. Although I'm eager to improve MCMEU's strength, I don't want my contribution to become a loophole that some people think they can exploit. Chen Yunqi nodded again. No one would object to Fong Ping's decision, not even her. Moreover, there were more than 10,000 people in the school. It was unrealistic to say that all of them were wholeheartedly fighting for MCMEU and humanity. There had to be some restrictions on this group of people. The two of them exchanged a few words. Chen Yunqi noticed that Fong Ping was not in a good mood. She suddenly laughed and said, Fong Ping, Yuan has also reached middle stage rank 3. She's improving very quickly. Fong Ping shook his head and laughed. Her? This girl is twice honed after all. Middle stage rank 3 is nothing. I'll be thankful if she doesn't cause trouble for me. I usually don't have much time to take care of her. Please help me take care of her. I heard that she ran into the catacombs previously. This damned girl. I'll deal with her sooner or later. That brat Fong Yuan had recklessly followed some people into the catacombs. She was not strong enough, so she took up a logistics job in Hope City. Even so, Fong Ping was shocked when he heard the news. Fortunately, the girl was discovered in time. Wu Quishan and the others were aware of the situation and forcefully sent her out. If Fong Yuan had died in Hope City, Fong Ping would not have known what he would have done to Fong Ping if she had died in Hope City. 9 Heavens Divine Emperors. Chapter 787. The Office. Fong Ping and Chen Yunxi were talking when a silhouette appeared outside the door. Are you busy? I'm not interrupting you, am I? A playful voice was heard. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He felt helpless. Desperate situation was indeed scary. Outside the door, the muscular warlord was carrying a fatty in his arms, a smile on his face. Fong Ping got up quickly and smiled. Senior Warlord is here. Please take a seat. Warlord looked around and chuckled. Kid Zhang, don't stare at me. If you stare any longer, I'll hammer you to death. Do you believe me? After a while, Warlord curled his lips and chuckled. Zhang Tao, this kid, he peeks at this, and that just because he has a strong mentality. He's not a good person. Kid, next time you're in a relationship, send a voice transmission. With your strength, he'll notice you peeping at him. Voice transmission should be difficult to detect. Fong Ping chuckled. I'm used to it. So be it. It's too close. He can't help it. It's understandable. They were so close. The MCMU passageway led directly to the catacombs entrance. It was right under Zhang Tao's nose. It would be strange if old Zhang did not peep. You're right, ancestor. Can you put me down? Zhang Chao, who was being carried, looked helpless. I'm a living person, not a doll. What's the ancestor doing? Warlord seemed to have just remembered this guy. He tossed him on the ground and chuckled. Kid, you asked Startown to contact me because you wanted to ask about the Magic City catacombs? Coincidentally, I wanted to find you too. Let's have a chat. As Warlord spoke, he found a seat and sat down. He leaned on the sofa, wiggled his butt, and said with satisfaction, It's very comfortable. Little fatty, write it down. Ask your grandfather to change the Jiang family's old furniture for me. They're all like this. I've sat on Mount Imperial Sea for hundreds of years. My butt is almost swollen. Damn, I still have to sit on hardwood when I go home. How does your grandfather do things? Zhang Chao smiled sheepishly at Fong Ping and Chen Yunxi. The corner of his mouth twitched. Don't mind him. My ancestor is old and uncultured. He's just so rude. The warlord seemed to have sensed the commotion, but he could not be bothered with it. He chuckled and said, Let's sit down and have a chat. Also, I brought little Fatty here because I need your help with something. This kid was lucky enough to enter rank 7, but in the end, it was almost impossible to survive in the rank 7 region. Going to the rank 8 region would be courting death. But with his temperament, how could he increase his strength? I heard that you got a lot of good stuff in the Forbidden Zone. Kid, give this kid some. I'm going to help him enter the 8th rank. He said helplessly, Senior, it's not that I can't bear to part with it, but Zhang Chao has entered rank 7. If he wants to increase his mentality, it's best if he has the heavenly golden lotus or an even better treasure. I had some before, but now, don't give me that. I won't take it for free. The War King was all smiles as he said, Don't you have 3 more in your storeroom? I should be able to give one to the little fatty. All right, I should also give a few golden body fruits as well. It just so happens that Zhang Hao and the little fatty could use them to temper their skulls. If the 2 kids can enter rank 8, the Zhang family will have some hope. Also, give me some sunflower fruits. Although the little fatty's father is useless, no matter how useless he is, he's still a Zhang family descendant. It's embarrassing for him to be stuck at rank 6. Give me some sunflower fruits and see if they can help him advance to rank 7, so that he won't embarrass the Zhang family. The muscular War King was very straightforward. Without waiting for Fong Ping to speak, he said immediately, Don't talk, I saw it, it's not fake. Also, I said I won't take it for free, so I won't take it for free. I'll count for you, kid. How many times have I fought? Nanjiang Catacombs once, the rank 8 region once, the Battle of the Sky Gate once. I gave you the Magic City battle for free. That was a must at that time. Fighting 3 times, these are all extra, kid. Do you understand? Also, I gave you an avatar. Forget it. Killing the people from the evil sect. This old man will give it to you. I won't take any favors. You've repaid the matter with the Yang family. Now you still owe me 2 favors. Heavenly Golden Lotus, Golden Body Fruit. These things, although the value is not bad compared to Absolute Peak's favor, it's still a little lacking. I'll take it as a favor. Kid, it's hard to repay a favor. Do you understand this? Is there a problem with exchanging a favor? Fong Ping smiled and said, "Since Senior has said so, then Fong Ping won't say anything more. Actually, the Heavenly Golden Lotus has already been reserved. Senior also knows that MCMAU has a high demand. However, since Senior has spoken, then I'll take out 1 Heavenly Golden Lotus, 3 Golden Body Fruits, 20 Sunflower Fruits. What do you think, Senior?" "Bright." War King smiled and nodded. Without waiting for Fong Ping to say anything, he waved his hand. The materials that Fong Ping mentioned appeared in his hand, shaking his head and saying, "These things are not put in the storage ring. They're in the storeroom." When absolute peak came, he conveniently took them away. "I'm surprised that Zhang Tao didn't take these things away." Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. Amazing! An impasse realm was really much stronger than he had imagined, not just in terms of strength, but also in terms of various means. Fong Ping did not say anything, sitting opposite War King. Seeing that Qin Yunxi was at a loss, he smiled and said, "Yunxi, sit down too. Let's have a chat, Senior War King. This is the hero who has protected humanity for hundreds of years. Now, Senior is guarding the Magic City catacombs, and he's also MCMU's guardian." War King's expression changed slightly, but he quickly smiled and said, "Kid, as soon as you said that, someone was unhappy. His mentality started scanning again, preparing to attack you. Luckily, this old man's strength is strong enough to block it. It's a martial arts university, after all. That's someone's self-proclaimed guardian of martial arts universities. Now that you've said that, it's like a slap to the face. It's really infuriating." Fong Ping rolled his eyes. What was up with Zhang Tao recently? War King was here, and he was just being courteous, but this old man was actually jealous? Fong Ping coughed softly and said, "Senior, after you've seen it, can you block him off? Listening in here all the time, it's not suitable." "No problem." War King agreed without hesitation. His mentality fluctuated instantly, and in the next moment, a weak wave of mentality was worn away. He chuckled and said, "There's no problem now. This is the part of this kid that's annoying. He wants to meddle in everything. Doesn't he find it tiring? This is the first time I've left Star Town, and I've been looking around. Along the way, he's been staring at me. It's so annoying." After War King finished laughing, he said, "Tell me, what do you want to ask this old man? About the Magic City catacombs? After you guys left, Green Wolf King and Bamboo King were furious. They made those rank 9 martial artists guard the passageway entrance, and they haven't left yet. Based on past situations, these guys might attack Mount Imperial Sea, lure Zhang Tao and Li Jun inside, and let them kill their way out. But this time, these true kings seem to be busy. These few days, I've sensed the aura of many true kings, and they're all gathering in the depths of the restricted area. Recently, the number of true kings in Mount Imperial Sea has decreased a lot. I'm guessing something big has happened about the king battleground. The 2 kings should be reviving soon. Those guys are discussing this." These words were not said by Fong Ping, but from the void. At this moment, War King's old face flushed red. The next moment, he was furious. He gritted his teeth and cursed, "Zhang Tao." His face was swollen from the slap. He had just said that everything was fine, that there was no problem, and that he had gotten rid of Zhang Tao's mentality remnant. In the end, this guy still had mentality remnant here. Zhang Tao seemed to be taking revenge for what happened earlier. He chuckled and said, just passing by. Senior War King, please continue. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first. Coincidentally, Magic City Catacomb Senior can help guard for a few days. I still need to make a trip to Capital City. Right, the Catacombs should be holding the 100 Kings Conference. It's fine for you to rest for a while, Senior. Also, Senior, you have to be careful. Fong Ping will tell you about the surveillance, lest you fall into a trap. Also, Senior, don't be careless. After all, your mentality isn't that strong. Humph. With a cold snort, War King directly shattered his mentality remnant. This guy was really despicable. This was a slap to the face. I'm already a few hundred years old. Can you show me some face? You still have to show off. Show that your mentality is very strong. This time, Zhang Tao's voice stopped abruptly. Very soon, War King humphed. He's gone? Wu Quishan has been taken away too. I don't know what this kid is going to do. The vice-chancellor has been taken away. Fong Ping was shocked. War King laughed. It's fine. It shouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe he's looking for that kid Li Jun to help him sort out his origin path. It's a good thing. But you're quite capable, kid. I killed that Xinyu guy. I couldn't even seize his origin path. His grandson actually managed to cultivate something. Kid, you have to count me in on this. If I don't kill him, it's useless even if you get it. Forget it, I won't look for you. If Wu Quishan becomes a paragon, the cycle of karma will happen. He will definitely owe me a big favor. War King was very open-minded. He had to look for Wu Quishan for this matter. He was the one who killed Xinyu. If he killed Xinyu, Fong Ping would only be able to get his hands on the true king's ultimate technique. Otherwise, it would be an ultimate technique that had nothing to do with the origin path. If Wu Quishan really became a paragon and owed Fong Ping a big favor, he would also owe him. Fong Ping could not be bothered with this. Old Wu would solve his own problems. If Old Wu really became a paragon, there would be trouble, and he would owe a lot of favors. Fong Ping did not continue this topic. He coughed softly. Senior, we'll talk about the Magic City catacombs later. This time, I'm actually looking for you because I need your help with a small matter. Having said that, 100 king coins suddenly appeared in front of Fong Ping. He chuckled. Senior, can you help me take a look? Is this thing hard to replicate? War King glanced at it and laughed. This thing is very simple. What 100 king coin, right? It's just something that true kings use to fool people. It's nothing to be tainted with a little paragon's willpower. Having said that, War King seemed to have thought of something. He glanced at Fong Ping and laughed. Kid, you have a plan? Are you planning to sneak in again? But I have to remind you, when it comes to counterfeiting, Zhang Tao is actually better at it. His mentality is strong. If it's counterfeited, most true kings might not be able to detect it. As for me, although my mentality isn't weak, if people like Life King and King Qian find out that I'm counterfeiting a 100 king coin, they'll definitely notice that something's wrong. It's still better for normal true kings. If you want it to be foolproof, then look for Zhang Tao. If you're not worried about Life King and the others finding out, this old man can help you forge it without a problem. Fong Ping smiled quickly. You'll do. Senior, you're powerful. 100 king coins are just external objects. Those true kings won't care. The probability of being discovered is very low. That's not a problem, Fong Ping said hurriedly. About the fee, War King waved his hand graciously. This is nothing. What kind of person do you think I am? Before he could finish, his expression suddenly changed. At this moment, tens of thousands of energy crystals appeared in front of Fong Ping. They had all been polished into the shape of 100 king coins. War King's expression stiffened. He coughed softly and said, This. 1 or 2 is fine, but these tens of thousands, that cough, the old man was speechless. What were you trying to do? Rob the restricted area? Tens of thousands. Although it wasn't troublesome to create them, he still had to fill them with wool one by one, which was quite troublesome. The catacombs' 100 king coins were not made by one true king, but many true kings. Warlord realized that he had underestimated Fong Ping. When this fellow heard that he didn't want money, he actually took out tens of thousands of coins. Seeing that Warlord was evading, Fong Ping smiled hurriedly and said, Senior, the next time I go to the catacombs, the 100 king coins will be useful. I'll buy some maple fruits or something for Jiang Chao and Jiang Hao. Those are the real treasures. It was frighteningly expensive. One maple fruit in the catacombs was worth 800 caddies of life essence, which was equivalent to 8,000 million coins. Actually, 10,000 was not a lot. If Senior is willing, it would be even better if you could make 100,000 of them. When the time comes, Senior and I will split it 50-50. I will even buy 4 or 5 maple fruits for Jiang Chao and Jiang Hao. In the catacombs, the exchange ratio of life essence to energy ores was 1-10. In other words, 1 kilogram of life essence could be exchanged for 10 kilograms of energy stones. 800 caddies of life essence was a fact. That was the price Ji Yao and Fong Ping had agreed upon. It was equivalent to 8,000 caddies of energy stones, which was not a small amount. However, 1,000,000 coins was equivalent to 100 caddies, so 800 king coins were enough. However, Fong Ping was bullying Warlord and the others for not knowing the prices in the catacombs. Seeing that Warlord had not said anything, Fong Ping smiled and said, "The effect of the maple fruit is better than the heavenly golden lotus. I mean the effect of a whole flower." When my mentality was around 4,000 hertz, I swallowed 2 of them and it went straight to 5,000 hertz and above. If I were to cultivate and rely on myself, it would be impossible without 3 to 5 years. Senior, if I'm like this, Jiang Chao will be in even more trouble. That's why if Jiang Chao wants to improve quickly, he can't do without treasures like the maple fruit. Beside him, Jiang Chao said hurriedly, "Elder Ancestor, I'll rely on you. I'm just doing some chores in exchange for the maple fruit, Elder Ancestor." Warlord glanced at him, cursing in his heart. "Idiot! This kid must have taken advantage of me. Maple fruits for 8,000? 5,000 million coins at most. He was obviously taking advantage of me. But this seemed to be extra earnings. If he took it, so be it." Warlord felt that even if Fong Ping took advantage of him, he probably did not take much. Did this kid have such a big appetite? So greedy? He did not know that Fong Ping had taken advantage of him 100 times more. Remembering that mentality treasures were hard to come by, Warlord waved his hand and summoned the energy crystals, smiling. "All right, I'll give them to you in a few days. I need some time. I'll give you 50,000 to try. It's quite troublesome. This old man needs to work without sleep for at least half a month. I don't ask for much. Just give me 2 maple fruits." Fong Ping nodded quickly, calculating in his heart. 2 maple fruits for 160 king coins was actually not a low price. It was 16,000 caddies of energy stones. Of course, that was because the catacombs' energy stones had depreciated. Still, it was quite expensive. Giving Warlord this much for him to do some manual labor should be considered fair to Warlord. As for whether he could spend the 50,000 he made, Fong Ping did not care. Spending a few thousand was enough. He was thinking if he threw all 50,000 king coins into the catacombs, would the catacombs' powerhouses go crazy? Whether the 100 king coins were real or fake, only life kings and a few true kings could tell. However, the catacombs' powerhouses, including rank 9 powerhouses, actually had a lot of 100 king coins on hand. It was the same for powerhouses without storage rings. If there were a lot of fake 100 king coins, they would not be able to use them. Fong Ping suspected that those powerhouses would break down. They might even dare to rebel against the Hall of True Kings. If it was someone else, their life savings would become waste paper. It would be strange if they did not go crazy. In reality, if there were a lot of fake banknotes in the market, it would cause chaos in society, and everyone would be in danger. After this, the catacombs' economic system will probably change. I'll be considered to have contributed to the catacombs. When that time comes, I'll probably have to get a fake anti-counterfeiting label. Fong Ping did not continue this topic, lest Warlord asked him about the prices of the catacombs later. The matter of the 100 king coins was settled. Fong Ping was not in a hurry. He still did not know when he would enter the restricted area. After saying that, Fong Ping said, "Senior, if I want to enter the Magic City catacombs in advance, will it be difficult?" Entering the Magic City catacombs, Warlord pondered. After a while, he said, "It's not too difficult. I can cross Mount Royal Sea and send you directly to the Magic City catacombs. Recently, Bamboo King and the others have left. As long as I don't enter the outskirts, I won't attract any attention. But, are you sure you want to go?" Warlord said slowly. "It's very dangerous. If you enter the Magic City catacombs, you'll be at the edge of Mount Royal Sea. You'll have to rely on yourself to cross the outskirts. There are many cities in the Magic City catacombs, and there are many towns and cities in the depths." Fong Ping laughed. "Senior, have you forgotten? I can even enter the restricted area, not to mention the outskirts. Even if I'm discovered, it's no big deal. I'm also a rank 8 7th level martial artist now. Even if I face the path of origin, I'm not completely helpless. I don't have to defend one place. If I can't win, I can escape. If you're willing to help, I plan to go to the Magic City catacombs in the near future. That's nothing. If you're coming, remember to go to Star Town and inform me in advance. Warlord replied, then said, also, if you go, it's best if you don't go to the Magic City catacombs bounded area. Fong Ping frowned slightly and said in surprise, Senior, you should know that I've entered the Xuanda Grotto Heaven before and returned safely. The seniors in the bounded area are actually quite easy to talk to, including the cultivation methods you've taught me. Warlord frowned. There are 8 intact bounded areas in Sino Nation. This is recorded in my notes. You should know. Among these 8 bounded areas, you've been to the Tianan Catacombs bounded area and the Shishan Catacombs bounded area. These places are relatively safer. However, the Magic City Catacombs bounded area is much more dangerous. I've never been there before, but Heavenly King Garrison has actually been there once. I don't know what's going on inside, but the repulsion towards us and the catacombs martial artists is quite intense. Or rather, it's not a matter of repulsion, but the seal is stronger. Previously, you said that there are people inside the bounded area. That fellow Zhang Tao guessed that the ancient martial artists inside are reviving. Perhaps the ancient martial artists here in Magic City have revived to a critical moment, or perhaps they were even more powerful when they were alive. In short, it's xenophobic, powerful, dangerous. This is the situation inside Magic City's bounded area. At this point, Warlord thought for a while and said, also, there are some differences here. There are many powerful monsters in Magic City's bounded area, native monsters. Very powerful. Because I wasn't stationed here in the past, I don't know too much about it. However, I'm roughly aware that the demons in this bounded area have once waged war with the demons in Imperial Sea Mountain. Fong Ping said with a look of surprise. Waged war? The demons in the bounded area can't enter Imperial Sea Mountain, right? After they leave the bounded area, they have to cross many places and then use the passageway to enter Imperial Sea Mountain. This is very difficult, isn't it? I'm not too sure. Maybe there's a passageway between the bounded area and Imperial Sea Mountain. We didn't investigate this in depth either. At this point, Warlord said in surprise, You really want to enter the bounded area? I plan to. Warlord pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he took a deep breath and said slowly, Let me tell you, don't treat any bounded area as a human territory. I'm not too sure about the situation in some bounded areas. The battle in the King battlefield should be a relic left behind in the bounded area. But in the King battlefield, perhaps you haven't been there much, so you don't know much. As far as I know, someone in Suppressing Star City has encountered a situation where 2 human martial artists perished together. Warlord said with a heavy expression, In the past, it was fine if there were no living people, and we didn't care about the situation back then. But now that you've been there and said that you met a living person, we also believe it. After all, you've obtained the cultivation method. If there are really people alive in the bounded area, the senior you met in the West Mountain bounded area might be on the human side. Or perhaps he was kind. But in other places, it's hard to say. Even being enemies with each other. That's a very normal thing. In the bounded area back then, not everyone was united. Maybe they didn't deal with each other. Maybe they had conflicts. Or they were simply mortal enemies. If there are living people in the Magic City bounded area, and they happen to have a grudge against that living person in the Xuanda Grotto, kid, you're in big trouble. So I have to say one more thing. Don't go to the bounded area recklessly. No one knows what's going on, and we can't enter. Once something happens inside, then we won't be able to come back. There's a grudge. Being enemies with each other? Fong Ping's heart trembled slightly. Back then, Feng Yeshing had actually said something like this. The battle in the King battlefield back then might not have been led by the 2 kings. It was led by humans. Fong Ping took a deep breath and asked hurriedly, Senior, those people in the bounded area, can they leave the bounded area? I'm talking about the inner periphery. I feel like they can't control the outer periphery. Warlord said casually, Who knows? Anyway, I've never encountered it, but it probably won't work. As Warlord said that, he chuckled and said, Actually, it's best not to take risks if you can. In these godforsaken places like the bounded area, there are many opportunities, but the danger is also great. I don't know what the bunch of old things inside are thinking. Maybe after so many years, they've long become psychopaths. Don't think that just because the people in the Schwanda Grotto gave you some benefits that they're good people. Who knows, they might be plotting something. These people's sects were destroyed, and they're trapped. Kid, I'll say this again. There's so many bounded areas. Back then, it was actually a little unusual for these people to be trapped together. Warlord patted Jiang Chao's head, causing him to grimace. He said thoughtfully, "Trapped, they're all trapped together. Actually, from what I see, this is not right. Maybe there's a plan, or maybe it was arranged beforehand. Maybe they can already come out, but they just don't and are waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for an opportunity." Warlord chuckled. "As for what opportunity, I'm not too sure either. That's what it feels like. Maybe they're waiting for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Emperor? Or something else? Who knows?" Regardless of them, at this point, Fong Ping suddenly said, "Senior, don't tell me you're not from the bounded area? Or should I say, seniors, you're from the group of people from 1,000 years ago? I saw that some of those people had revived, but I haven't found any traces of them. I don't know if the Hall of Myriad Origins is damaged, or if someone has revived us." Warlord broke into laughter. "Our situation is a little complicated. Also, the 13 people from Polaris City. Actually, not all of us are from the same group. How should I put it? It's hard to say. Anyway, the situation is very complicated. There are 13 of us. Let's put it this way. Some of us may be from the domain, some of us may be resurrected from the land of kings, and some of us may be part of the group of people brought by the demon emperor 1,000 years ago. What I said are all possibilities, which means that I'm not sure either. When we gather together, we don't talk about the past. We don't talk about these things. Each of us has our own thoughts, our own ideas. Besides, the one who knows the most about these things is the Leaf family's old geezer. That old geezer knows a lot. Actually, we got together because of him. But that old geezer pretended to be dead and refused to say anything. Who knows what he's thinking?" At this point, Warlord grinned. "But it's fine. That old geezer, I don't think he's a bad person. He might have some other thoughts, but he's generally a good person." As Warlord said that, he chuckled. "Kid, I'll give you another secret for free. Over at the King battlefield, if the two kings have really revived, you'd better make a trip there and bring Yao Qingjun and the rest along. These fellows might have something to do with the King battlefield." Over at the King battlefield, there are still some desperate realm living dead. Do you know about this? Fong Ping nodded. Yes, Jiang Chao said that someone had tried to break into the rank 9 territory and was attacked by a paragon. Yes, it's that guy. Although only one was discovered that year, it doesn't mean that there's only one. If Yao Qingjun and the rest are really revivers from the paragons, it might be this group of people. Of course, it might not be accurate. But no matter what, if we go there, we might gain something. These Paragon Daos have all turned into Chaos Origin Daos. Now, they can't be separated anymore. They're all mixed together. But if they're the original owners... Kid, do you know about war armor? Warlord grinned. Using one's original life origin to control the flesh. Drilling directly into the flesh. Using oneself as the core. Motherf Astris Kerr. That's a robot war armor. No, it's the absolute war armor. Kid, if there's really a body preserve, it'll be a big win. You can use yourself as half of a paragon. Of course, it's definitely not as good as a real desperate realm. After all, it's a dead person. You can even use the method of refining divine weapons to refine a complete corpse of a paragon. Moreover, it's of the same origin. Even if they reach the desperate realm, they can also refine this thing into a powerful weapon. You have to know who in the desperate realm has things like divine weapons. Killing a paragon demon to refine a divine weapon? Who has such great ability? Even the Leaf family's old geezer can't kill a paragon demon beast in one piece. The paragon is not stupid. Knowing that he's going to die, why would I leave the corpse for you to trample on? Fong Ping's heart stirred. Were old Yao and the rest the paragons who died in battle back then? Were there any remains left? These people could actually control a complete corpse? Did that not mean that once Old Wang and the rest entered the depths of the king battlefield, they might be able to obtain a paragon's corpse, drill into it to control the paragon's body, and start a war with the paragon? This piece of information sent by Warlord was indeed useful. Fong Ping immediately said, I know, but the king battlefield was too chaotic. Now that the two kings might revive and the other catacombs powerhouses were watching, going in now was too troublesome and dangerous. If it was not Old Yao and the rest past lives, they might be killed. That's not right. Fong Ping's heart suddenly trembled. Can I use it? I can imitate the life origin. No, I can only imitate those weaker than me. I can't imitate the paragon. Fong Ping suddenly shook his head. Then he pondered another question. Paragon was actually also a rank 9 origin powerhouse. They were essentially the same. It was just that they had gone further. If I reached rank 9 origin, could I not imitate the paragon? I'm not sure. I'll think about it when I reach the origin realm. Fong Ping sighed in his heart. He would wait and see. If it was Old Wang and the rest's past lives, he could actually borrow it. He could still imitate Old Wang and the rest's aura. 9 Heavens, Divine Emperor. Chapter 788. In the office, Fong Ping and Warlord had a rather congenial conversation. As they chatted, Fong Ping lamented, Senior is much more reliable than the minister. Senior still has the air of a great general. No matter what, the minister is still one of the highest leaders of humanity. He's so petty? Of course. The War King didn't want to pass on this responsibility. He smiled and said, All right, stop flattering this old man. As for Zhang Tao, how should he put it? He had to bear a greater responsibility. He is one of the strategists of the human race, while we are the vanguard. We just need to focus on killing. He has to consider the overall situation. The more one thinks, the more complicated one's thoughts become. Also, don't blabber on about these things. That guy might still be listening. Sooner or later, he'll settle the score with you. Senior, you flatter me. Kacha. The sofa exploded. The War King's face turned ashen as he cursed. Mother asterisk cur. You're really here? Are you trying to bully me because my mental strength isn't as strong as yours? Come on, let's spar. How dare you eavesdrop on me? There was no sign of life. Fong Ping was also speechless. Was old Zhang crazy? Eavesdropping was fine. But why did you have to show off in front of the warlord? Did you really think that I didn't have any friends? Let's see if you can still be cocky when we join hands at the summit of Startown City and beat you up until you're crying for your parents. He was still imagining the scene of old Zhang being brutally beaten up when Warlord suddenly raised his eyebrows and looked at Fong Ping. That brat Zhang Tao told me to ask for more benefits from you. He said you tricked me. Is that true? Fong Ping was speechless. He said helplessly, Of course it's fake. I didn't give him face for the past few days, and he's been suppressing his anger for a long time, but he can't deal with me. Now that Senior is here, he's deliberately provoking me. A person like the minister has too many tricks up his sleeves. He never forgets about this. Senior, do I need to trick you? Which do you think is easier to make tens of thousands of 100 king coins in exchange for a few maple fruits? He's angry that I didn't look for him, so he purposely wanted to ruin the deal. He's so evil. That makes sense. The War King nodded slightly. Zhang Tao was indeed not a good person. Fong Ping had asked him for a business deal instead of him. He was probably unhappy and was purposely trying to make his presence known. He couldn't be bothered with him. This time, the War Monarch's spiritual power erupted. He scanned the area several times and snorted. If he appears again, I'll consider him powerful. However, if he appeared again, he would no longer be Zhang Tao. There was something wrong with this guy. How could there be such a powerful spiritual force? Spiritual force was difficult to cultivate, and it would not be surprising even if it was at the peak. I'll admit that this guy is a little stronger than me. His spiritual power is separated by more than 1,000 miles, and he can still avoid my detection. This guy has a big problem. Try again. The Battle King had an unfriendly expression on his face. It didn't matter whether Zhang Tao was here or not. Try saying that again. If you say another word, I will frame you and say that you are the reincarnation of the demon emperor or some other old ghost." Sure enough, there was no more sound. The Battle King didn't care whether Zhang Tao was here or not. It was better if that guy was here. He would suffocate him to death. The Battle Monarch did not speak further about the domain boundaries, nor did he speak of anything else. He looked at Zhang Chao again, appearing slightly hesitant. After thinking for a while, he still said, "It's best if little fatty doesn't go to the king battlefield for now. However, if you don't fight at all, this mentality will be loose and condensed. That won't do either. It's not just him. Fong Ping, you too. If you fight too much, your mentality will be too loose. When it's loose, it'll be like a sieve. The mentality that you forcefully increase isn't very stable. Little fatty, I'm considering whether I should stay in MCMAU and participate in a few battles." As soon as he said that, Zhang Chao's expression changed drastically. He said in despair, "No, ancestor, I won't do it. MCMU is so dangerous. We fight every day. So many people have died. You still want me to stay with Fong Ping and the others? Didn't you say that they are jinxes?" Fong Ping's expression was dark. He quickly recovered his smile and glanced at Zhang Chao. His smile sent chills down Zhang Chao's spine. But he would not do it. He would not stay in MCMAU. Zhang Chao hurriedly put on a smile and said, "Ancestor, it's the same if I go to other places. For example, Shishan Catacombs or the Forbidden Catacombs." The Battle King's expression was unfriendly. The Forbidden Catacombs had been destroyed. The high ranks were all gone. "You want to go? Shishan Catacombs." There had not been a battle for many years, but a battle might break out soon. Thinking about it, MCMU was indeed dangerous. Fong Ping and the others were prepared to fight back. That would be a battle between rank 9s. Thinking of this, Warlord laughed and said, "All right, let's go to Shishan Catacombs. Coincidentally, Li Zhen's grandson is there too. You can go and be his companion." Fong Ping felt that these words were a little ambiguous. Was it Li Zhen's grandson, Li Yiming, or Li Zhen's grandson? But thinking about it, it was the same. Li Zhen did not seem to be Warlord's grandson. Warlord was not wrong no matter what. Zhang Chao did not know about this. When he heard that they were going to Shishan Catacombs, he beamed with joy. Shishan was good. Shishan was good. He would not come to MCMAU. MCMAU had a few children of destiny. If he came here, he would just be waiting for death. Look at how MCMU is cursed. How many people had died in such a short time? Why didn't so many people die in other places? In so many years, MCMAU had only lost thousands of people. In the end, when Fong Ping and the others came to MCMAU, 700 to 800 people died in 1 or 2 years. Even the old vice-chancellor was cursed to death. The new principal, Wu Quishan, had not even warmed his seat and was almost killed by the curse. It was hard to say whether he would die or not. What did this mean? It meant that the position could not be higher than Fong Ping. If it was higher, it would be cursed to death. Zhang Chao calculated in his heart. Lu Polu was the honorary vice-chancellor. He did not have any real power. It would be difficult to curse him to death. Huang Jing was the real first deputy vice-chancellor. If this cursed him to death, Fong Ping just happened to take over. As for Wu Quishan, Fong Ping might have taken over a little too quickly. Therefore, if Wu Quishan did not step down now, he would be cursed to death sooner or later. It would not work even if he was at the top. Thinking of this, Zhang Chao felt the need to write an anonymous letter to Wu Quishan. He had to believe, accept his fate, and resign as soon as possible. He was lucky this time, but next time might not be the same. If he did not step down now, when Fong Ping reached rank 9, he would really curse him to death. That's true. He's a child of destiny. He has to find something to do even if he has nothing better to do. There are big battles every day, and there are endless small battles. I heard that old Zhang and the others have cursed wherever they went, cursed whoever they met. Old Zhang cursed his way up, cursing the former Minister of Education to death. This fellow Fong Ping, he wouldn't curse old Zhang to death too, would he? The former Minister of Education was only a rank 9. If he cursed him to death, it would be because he was not tough enough. Old Zhang was a top paragon after all. Moreover, he was the previous generation's child of destiny. He wouldn't die, would he? Or would they mutually curse each other until one of them dies? Jiang Chao's gaze was unfocused for a moment. This question was so complicated. Zhang Tao, Li Jun, and Nan Yunyue were considered the previous generation's children of destiny. 3 people, Fang Ping, Li Hansong, Wang Jinyang, and Yao Qingjun were considered this generation's. No, perhaps Qin Fengqing should be added too. 5 people, 5 against 3, they had the advantage in numbers. However, Fang Ping and the others were weaker. Who would curse who? Also, Wang Jinyang had already cursed all the NMU students who were stronger than him. Yao Qingjuan's side was not right. Should he write another anonymous letter to Nan Yunping? She might have broken through to rank 9, but it was better to take it easy. FMS did not seem to have many casualties. Magic City catacombs had been lost this time. Fang Ping would probably fight back. FMS was in Magic City. Fang Ping would invite FMS, right? Nan Yunping was ranked 9 now. She would probably be invited too, right? She had just broken through to rank 9. Once she went on the battlefield, the probability of her dying was very high. However, she had the blessing of her sister, Nan Yunyue, so she might not die. Jiang Chao was conflicted. He was conflicted. Fang Ping and Warlord looked at Jiang Chao. What was this fatty thinking? He looked like he was struggling. Did he know that a war might break out in the Shishan catacombs? Seeing that Jiang Chao was still deep in thought, the battle monarch casually slapped him, causing Jiang Chao's head to spin. Ignoring this fellow, Warlord laughed. Then I'll leave first. No, that bastard Zhang Tao left Magic City to me. Forget it, I'll stay for a few more days. Little fatty, you can cultivate an MCMAU these few days. There's plenty of energy here. Eat the heavenly golden lotus and strive to achieve peak rank 7 as soon as possible. Hone your skull. Hearing that, Jiang Chao said eagerly, when I reach rank 8, then I can quickly achieve golden body 5 or 6. When he said that, Fang Ping was stunned. Where did his confidence come from? Warlord coughed softly. Without another word, he dragged Fatty and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. There was a secret. Warlord had a secret. Fatty had reached rank 8 and quickly achieved golden body 5 or 6. One had to know that to improve one's golden body, not only did one need a large amount of imperishable substance, but one also needed to increase mentality. How could Fatty reach 5 or 6 so quickly? I have to remember this. It might be beneficial. He was still thinking when Chen Yunxi, who had been silent all this while, said strangely, "This is Warlord." Fang Ping nodded and smiled. That's him. Lived for a few hundred years and guarded Mount Royal Sea for a few hundred years. Yes. Chen Yunxi had a complicated look in her eyes. I thought the senior who guarded Mount Royal Sea for a few hundred years would be the cold kind, incomparably tall and stern. As she said that, Chen Yunxi thought for a while and said, just like Commander Li, cold and mysterious. Fang Ping pursed his lips. The image of Absolute Peak has long collapsed in my heart. Ever since the first time I was tricked by Absolute Peak, I felt that Absolute Peak had no image to speak of. As for Commander Li, I didn't have much contact with him, but he is indeed cold and mysterious. Zhang Tao pay ups, just as Fang Ping and Chen Yunxi were discussing Li Jun. Li Jun looked determined and said angrily, 2,000 caddies, no, at least 3,000 caddies. You didn't come back these few days, so I couldn't find you. Now that I'm back, it's time to pay up. This time, there are 4 true kings hunting me down. The old monk from the ancient Buddhist sacred land almost went crazy with anger and almost chased me out. We agreed on 2,000 caddies for 2 more, at least 1,000 caddies. Zhang Tao frowned. Have some image. You're the military department's commander, not a street vendor, not a debt collector. 2,000 caddies, 3,000 caddies, do you think we're doing business? You're the leader of the Sino Nation military department, after all. Is this how you lead the military department? Zhang Tao was extremely serious, but Li Jun scolded. Don't give me that. I'm warning you, I couldn't win against you in an argument before. and I'm too lazy to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you now. Pay up quickly, or Nan Yunyue, and I will deal with you together. Zhang Tao was speechless. After a while, he said, 2,000 caddies for you. 1,000 caddies for Nan Yunyue? Is that enough? All right, I still have things to do. Don't come looking for me when you have nothing to do. Things to do. Li Jun said without batting an eyelid. It's like this. There have been many battles in the military department recently. I'm planning to recruit a batch of martial artists into the military. The main force is martial arts university students, but martial arts universities belong to the Ministry of Education, so orders can't be transmitted smoothly. So I'm planning to assign some martial arts universities to... Forget it. Zhang Tao did not wait for him to finish, sneered and said, You want to assign MCMU to the military department? Li Jun, are you playing tricks with me? In your dreams. That? Didn't you and Fong Ping have a falling out recently? I'll go and smooth things over. When the situation gets better, I'll... Forget it. Zhang Tao said without batting an eyelid. Don't mention this. It's useless. Isn't this kid angry that I didn't help him CMU this time? He has a bad temper. He can't turn around. I'm too lazy to say anything. If he gets into trouble again, just you wait. I guarantee he'll come crying to me. Is there any use in counting on you guys? When the time comes, I'll show him how much I've sacrificed for him. The next time a true king comes after him, I won't run. I'll find a true king to fight for 300 rounds and suffer heavy injuries. Can this kid be a match for me? I'm a martial king, but I was almost beaten to death by the catacombs' true king for a kid. He'll be so touched he'll kneel down and cry. Zhang Tao chuckled. It's just a small problem, it's nothing. This time, MCMU's counterattack is almost over. When the time comes, the Green Wolf King and the others will probably come. Remember, cooperate. You guys go to one side and fight. I'll fight them. If you're seriously injured, remember to perform well. Li Jun was dumbfounded. After a while, he said helplessly, Is that necessary? I said you're stupid. Forget it. Zhang Tao shook his head. This idiot, did he really think that he was pretending to be injured to smooth things over with Fong Ping? Zhang Tao took a deep breath and said in a low voice, I'm pretending to be injured so that the catacombs' true king has enough energy to deal with the martial kings. It's not just me you're pretending to. Make it worse. This time, there's going to be a great battle. Let them think that they've hurt us. Beat us until we don't dare to make a sound. Only then will they feel at ease. Otherwise, with us eyeing them, would they dare to start a war with the two kings? Aren't you afraid that we'll benefit from it? Of course, it could not be too weak. It could not be too tragic. In short, it had to be a little bigger. The three major catacombs would be at war at the same time, and the paragons would be at war at the same time. It would be best if it erupted into a battle between dozens of paragons. In short, we have to beat them until they are afraid, but at the same time, we have to cripple ourselves. Beat them until they think that it's best not to attack the human world at this time. Beat them until they think that we're no match for them and that we can still kill them. Between us and the second king, let them choose the second king. Li Jun said solemnly. Acting again? This degree was a little difficult to grasp. It was too weak. They didn't believe it. If we are weak, they might turn around and attack the human world, thinking that we are all just for show. He's too strong. They didn't dare to attack the two kings, but instead joined forces with the two kings. Zhang Tao pondered for a moment and said, It's a little difficult. Of course, it's only so for you. You don't have to act. You're really hurt. This time, you put your life on the line and killed a true monarch, the kind where you were heavily injured. You made the other party afraid, but not to the point of death. In short, they are dead, and we are heavily injured. Let them think that they can get rid of us. That's more or less enough. Once this big show is done, we can sit back and watch the show. Previously, when the Life Monarch probed the place where the kings fought, the two kings exposed some secrets. The Life Monarch probably already knows some of the truth. Speaking of this, Li Jun sat down and said solemnly, If the catacombs' true monarch and the two kings fight, who do you think will win? Also, if the catacombs' true monarch really has a top-notch powerhouse who has seized the two kings' origins. The two kings are powerhouses who have at least three paths. When that time comes, Zhang Tao, then you're in trouble of your own making. Although others have comprehended 3 paths, they may not be able to go very far. But for someone like the Life Monarch, once he has really taken 5 paths, even if the other 3 paths are very short, his strength will still increase exponentially. And these people like the Life Monarch have been operating for many years. Their foundations are deeper than the 2 kings. When the Great War breaks out, we'll really be in big trouble. Zhang Tao took a deep breath and said slowly, fighting for survival in the face of death, this is a helpless move. Compared to this, we have no better choice. Actually, I also hope that both sides will suffer heavy casualties. If 70 to 80 true monarchs die, do we still need to be afraid of the catacombs? But this is not realistic. If 3 to 5 true monarchs die, maybe the war will stop. Therefore, I hope that both sides will be in a stalemate, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Zhang Tao said a few words, then sighed and said, it depends on luck. It's impossible that everything will go according to our plan. Also, let the fallen star army enter the Shishan catacombs and wait for the Great War. Let Zhang Weiyu go to Shijiang's catacombs. This time, let Zhang Weiyu exchange with a few catacombs strong rank 9s. Let Zhang Weiyu come out alive, but he must be seriously injured and on the verge of death. Don't break through in the catacombs. No, it's best to let others think that his breakthrough hope has been interrupted. Just like Kong Lingyuan years ago, let him go into closed-door cultivation. Breakthrough in closed-door cultivation. This way, we can hide a paragon. Li Jun had a headache. He said, you make it sound so simple. If he's injured but not dead, it will make others think that there's no hope for a breakthrough. This is easy to say, but if he's not careful, Zhang Weiyu will be dead. There's no such thing as a perfect plan. If it doesn't work, then escape is the priority. Zhang Tao laughed and said, there's no harm in trying. Humans can't have any more paragon breakthroughs. People are breaking through one after another. Can the catacombs wait any longer? Killing a few rank 9s is not worth it. Not only Zhang Weiyu, but also Wu Quishan. Zhang Tao frowned and said, if these 2 people break through, it's best if they do it on the ground and hide it. Especially at this time, we can't let the catacombs find out that there are 2 more paragons in our Sino nation. Otherwise, it won't be an internal strife in the catacombs, but an alliance against us. Li Jun pondered and said, hiding it is more difficult. I know. When we get back, you, me, Nan Yunyue, and the rest will join forces and create a seal so that they can break through and hide inside. When the big battle starts, they can play a bigger role. If there are 2 more paragons suddenly, maybe we can catch them off guard and kill 1 or 2 true king powerhouses. Got it. Li Jun nodded slightly, deep in thought. Seeing this, Zhang Tao said again, what are you waiting for? Go and make the arrangements. I also have something to make arrangements here. Don't you always come to my place? Isn't the military department busy? Don't they calculate the battle results in Capital City? How are things going over at the Forbidden Catacombs? How's the population migrated? Also, you better go and take a look at the Forbidden Sea. Don't let anything happen there. Also, the Capital Catacombs is ours now. We don't have to keep watch at Mount Royal Sea. Let Nan Yunyue have time to go to the Forbidden Land to intimidate them. Also, the military department said they want to recruit 1 million soldiers. Has it been done? Li Jun, are you okay? Are you very free? Li Jun was helpless, but he knew that he still had many things to do. Without further ado, he left quickly. Before he left, he thought, I seem to have forgotten something. That's right. What did I forget? Zhang Tao did not care about him. He would not tell Li Jun that this guy came for energy stones, but he had already forgotten about it before he left. He did not remind Li Jun either. After Li Jun left, he murmured, this time, we have to make use of the Magic City battle to make a big move. Only then can we push the catacombs and the 2 kings against each other. But to fight for no reason, this is too deliberate. It has to be the kind that happens unintentionally. Even us humans didn't expect a big battle to break out. If that's the case, the key is still in Magic City. Zhang Tao looked into the distance, in the direction of MCMAU. This matter might still depend on Fong Ping. He stirred up trouble. This time, he had to stir up trouble. Stir up something big, anger the true king, make the true king break his vows and cross Mount Royal Sea to kill him, anger the other party. What kind of trouble could he stir up to make the true king so angry? Make the true king so angry that he doesn't care about anything. We'll take advantage of the situation and fight passively. Seize the opportunity to break out into a great all-out war, but it's not a battle of life and death. Zhang Tao repeated over and over again, deep in thought, considering. This matter was very difficult. He had to be careful of the human's peak really falling. Also, he had to control the limit and not let a great all-out war really happen. For a moment, Zhang Tao felt a headache coming on. The other key point was still in Magic City. What should that kid Fong Ping do? Should he go and give him some pointers? However, his pointers told him that he hoped for a great all-out war to break out. With this kid's personality, once he went overboard, it might really break out into a battle of life and death. Limit. This is difficult. Should I say it or not? If I say it, it'll be troublesome. He's unscrupulous. If I don't say it, it'll be troublesome. He might not be able to start a war. Zhang Tao was thinking about this. As for Fong Ping, he had just finished chatting with Chen Yunxi and was also thinking about something. If I get into big trouble this time, old Zhang won't sit by and watch, right? However, both of them had fallen out previously. If he got into trouble again, this old man might really sit by and watch. When that time came, he would say, "You'll take responsibility for the trouble you caused yourself." Fong Ping felt depressed. This is difficult. Control the limit. I can't anger the true king too much, or else the battle king might not be able to hold on. But once the war starts, how do I control the limit? Also, I'm a target that both the royal houses want to kill. My appearance in the catacombs is already a problem. But if I don't go, it'll be even more troublesome. Without me, the people of MCMU will be sent to their deaths. For a moment, Fong Ping felt a headache coming on. This limit was not easy to measure. According to previous habits, this matter should be left to Zhang Tao to consider. Now, however, everyone had fallen out, and Fong Ping was ignoring him. Why would he want to discuss it? However, if he did not discuss it properly, this war would be difficult to fight. Also, a war is burning money. I'm afraid I'll have to fork out countless wealth points this time to recoup my capital. Otherwise, I'll be finished even if I just sit and eat. Recouping my capital will be troublesome. Should I go and discuss it with him? We'll talk about it later. Fong Ping's head hurt. He planned to wait until he went to the bounded boundaries and came back to discuss it. He planned to go in and take a look at this big brother of the Jiao. After that, he would think about the next deployment. Chapter 789. After Zhang Tao left, Warlord took charge of Magic City. After Warlord took charge of Magic City, Jiang Chao also began to cultivate in MCMAU. This time, Warlord had obtained a heavenly golden lotus and 3 golden fruits from Fong Ping for him. These were all preparations for him to achieve rank 8. With Pudgy Jiang around, a lot of things were much easier. In the underground passageway, Warlord felt that he had been especially busy recently. He was busy forging 100 king coins and helping Fong Ping modify his rank 9 battle axe, turning it into a saber. Not only that, but MCMEU's 3 Origins martial artists often came to ask him questions. Warlord also knew these martial artists. They were resurrected martial artists who had been living in Star Town. Warlord was surprised that the 3 of them had entered rank 9 Origins so quickly. Before he was done, Fong Ping came over to curry favor with him. Seeing Fong Ping now, Warlord felt a headache coming on. This kid had a lot of things to do. He had to come and talk to him for trivial things. He was very busy, okay? However, this time, Fong Ping came to Warlord not for Magic City, but for his own matters. In the underground hall, Fong Ping was all smiles, bringing Pudgy Jiang along. Pudgy Jiang was a stepping stone. When they reached the underground hall, Fong Ping left Pudgy Jiang aside and went to play by himself. Ignoring the resentful look in Jiang Chao's eyes, Fong Ping sat down opposite Warlord and said respectfully, "Senior, Fong Ping is actually here to ask some questions about martial arts cultivation. You're experienced and knowledgeable. I think I'll learn a lot with just a few words of advice. Speak. Warlord produced 100 king coins while waiting for his questions. This kid had so many questions that he did not want to stay in Magic City anymore. Star Town was still quiet. First, about rank 8 breaking through to rank 9. Rank 9 is divided into weak rank 9 and origins rank 9. In my opinion, there's no difference between weak rank 9 and rank 8. So, how is this distinction made? What's the difference between them? Warlord shook his head and said, "You can ask those rank 9s about these things. Most of them should know. Looks like you don't pay attention in class." After giving Fong Ping a blow, Warlord said, "The biggest difference between rank 9 and rank 8 is the understanding of Origins Dao. The gap between them was naturally in their comprehension of the quintessence Dao. A weak rank 9 was only relatively speaking. Rank 9 was actually a metamorphosis. There are tens of thousands of Daos in the world, but no one can say for sure how many martial paths there are. Everyone's path is different." The warlord smiled and continued, "Let's talk about the catacombs, Lord. What Dao does the Lord cultivate? The Dao of the people. In fact, there were humans who walked this path as well. However, the myriad paths that each of them walked, although it was called the myriad people path, it was actually different. There were so many different martial arts paths. How should he proceed after reaching peak rank 8? The so-called 9th stage was actually a transformation of oneself through understanding. First of all, you have to know what path you want to walk. Once you have determined your path, you have to lay the foundation. The Tao of origin was formless and intangible. In truth, it was not a Tao that existed, but an unknown Tao. You have to walk on this road yourself. You have to build and repair it yourself." The warlord continued, "The so-called weak rank 9 and rank 9 of quintessence Tao are actually both rank 9. The difference is that the weak rank 9 is the kind that has just laid the foundation and hasn't even taken the first step. This is the difference between a rank 8 and a weak rank 9. When a martial artist has determined what path he wants to walk and has dug the first shovel, at this time, he has actually roughly determined the direction of his martial arts path. Of course, this is a general direction. What we call understanding the Tao of origin is actually taking the first step in the truest sense." When Fong Ping heard this, he generally understood what he meant. He said, "In other words, the difference between a rank 8 and a weak rank 9 is actually in the foundation and confirmation of the path. And the difference between a weak rank 9 and a rank 9 of quintessence Tao is that one has not taken the first step, while the other has already taken the first step and started walking forward. You can understand it that way. Then what exactly is the Tao of origin?" Fong Ping still could not understand. He frowned slightly and said, "I'm already a rank 8 7th stage now. Logically speaking, at my level, many people have already achieved rank 9. But I actually don't feel any signs of rank 9 at all." The warlord was not surprised at all. He laughed and said, "How long have you been in contact with martial arts? Do you really understand martial arts? Many geniuses are also stuck at this stage. Of course, the truth is no one is as fast as you. You're really faster than everyone's imagination. More than 2 years, a rank 8 7th stage. For more than 2 years, you don't even have time to cultivate. Where would you have the time to think about these things? This thing about the Tao of origin is very difficult to explain to you." The warlord pondered for a while and said, "From the perspective of the growth of strength, the Tao of origin is a power amplifier. However, this power amplifier is created by you. Different people create different amplifiers, and the effects are also different. As for the principle and structure of the amplifier, you don't understand it, so you can't create it. When you understand it, you can naturally create an amplifier that belongs to you. But this needs to be understood." The warlord pondered for a while again and said, "Let's talk about your vice-chancellor, Wu Quishan's Tao of origin. Actually, we don't know what it is either. But in general, we can guess that it might be a kind of love, a kind of care, a kind of protection. This is actually also a kind of power, the power of the subconscious. He loves his wife and his daughter, so he wants to protect them. It's a kind of excavation and development of potential. His daughter died, and his wife has always wanted revenge. So, in order to protect his wife and to avenge his daughter, this is actually not the power of hatred, but the power of protection. Fong Ping could not help but laugh. That mysterious? Yes, it's that mysterious. The warlord laughed and said, the Tao of origin is actually very mysterious. As martial arts, when one cultivates to rank 8, the flesh has already been developed to the extreme. After rank 8, actually, when humans practice martial arts, they're already at another level. From rank 1 to rank 8, everyone is developing existing things, developing the potential that originally belongs to humans. Your golden body is strong. Your flesh is strong. These are actually all your own abilities, but you just didn't develop them, letting these abilities be hidden. After reaching rank 8, it's a new beginning. At this time, it's a little mysterious, strengthening oneself from another level. Then how should I understand the Tao of origin? Fong Ping said doubtfully, I don't even know what the Tao of origin is. In other words, how to build this amplifier. I don't know anything. If you ask me to build it now, I think I almost can't build it. You don't have enough experience. That's why you have such doubts. The warlord laughed and said, most of the others, it's the accumulation of time, the accumulation of years. They've seen a lot, experienced a lot. I'm not talking about simple battles. Local customs, life experiences, the death of wives, children, the passage of time. These are all accumulation. You don't have these, so you don't know, and you don't understand. As the warlord said that, he thought for a while and said, as for you, it's best to find some powerhouses who have fallen on the Tao of origin like Rose City Lord. If there are remnants of the origin, you can try to study it. What does it feel like to study other people's structures? But this kind of opportunity is too rare. Even if it's us, if we kill a rank 9, we might not be able to keep the other party's Tao of origin. If you learn from the mistakes of others, it'll be much easier for you to construct your own Tao of origin. Of course, this can easily cause a problem. The warlord said in a low voice, it's not impossible to imitate, follow the trend, or even copy and plagiarize. But that's not your own thing. You can't become the strongest. You copied someone else's Tao, but you still don't understand it. Then you may become the second person, but you can't become yourself. Powerhouses all walk their own Tao, walk to the deepest depths, walk to the end. They know how they should go on, know what they need, know what is most suitable for them. And at this time, they can become powerhouses. As for those martial artists who walk on someone else's Tao, they will never become the strongest. At most, they will become the second person. Fong Ping nodded and said, then, if I study the Tao of hundreds of Tao powerhouses, analyze their strengths and weaknesses, discard the dross, and create my own Tao of origin, will I become stronger? The warlord laughed again and said, first, there are not hundreds of powerhouses who will give you this opportunity. Second, how can you be sure that what you discard is the dross and not the essence? Third, it's easy to say, but the more you see, the more choices you have. At this time, you will also be lost, confused. The warlord said in a low voice, a person, if there are hundreds of Tao of origin for you to walk on, and every one of them seems to lead to the strongest point, how will you choose? Are you confident that the Tao that you build on yourself will be longer than others? The more you see, the more confused you will be. At this time, it is a test of a person's determination and courage. If you fuse, you may fuse into something that is neither. You put a dog's head on a cat's body. What is this? The warlord continued. However, if you eliminate these prerequisites, actually, if you have the opportunity to study hundreds of Tao, there is someone who can teach you. The warlord laughed. Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao, this guy, why is he so strong? His Tao is the Tao of coalescence. It's somewhat similar to what you've said. The warlord chuckled. It is said that there is only one Tao in the end. Actually, we also agree with this saying, but before the end, the Tao is still separated. If we walk on one or both of them, there is hope that we can reach the end. As for Zhang Tao, he is also walking on one, but that guy is not walking on the ordinary Tao. His Tao of coalescence is actually a Tao that is constantly comprehending new Tao, constantly integrating it into his own Tao. Seeing that Fong Ping did not quite understand, The warlord organized his words and said, "Let me put it this way. He is actually walking on a Tao that eliminates other Tao. He comprehended a new Tao, but as soon as he started, he cut off this Tao and integrated it into his Tao of coalescence, or rather, the Tao of coalescence was integrated into this new Tao. Whoever is strong will exist. Whoever is strong will be able to walk to the end. He is constantly eliminating other Tao, leaving only one in the end, but this method is too difficult." The warlord sighed. There is a limit to a person's energy. It is difficult for a martial artist to walk on one Tao in his life, and he still has to walk on countless Tao. How difficult is it to nurture venomous insects from countless Tao and leave behind the strongest one? If we have the time, we would rather walk on a second Tao, two Tao, and walk on it together. It is much easier than what he did. Just like us, if we encounter two ferocious tiger cubs, we may cultivate them together, thinking that we will eventually cultivate two ferocious tigers. As for Zhang Tao, he will let the two tiger cubs fight, letting the strong devour the weak. He thinks that cultivating them this way will make them stronger. Fang Ping understood. Then he rubbed his chin and said, "When you put it that way, I think that the minister's Tao is indeed very strong. Cultivating two tigers will consume a lot of resources. We can't concentrate on cultivating one ferocious tiger. However, we still have to look at the upper limit. If the upper limit is the same, then of course it is better to cultivate two tigers. In the end, two ferocious tigers will definitely be stronger than one. It is hard to say whether this is good or bad." The warlord nodded. Just as he nodded, Fang Ping said, "But the minister's mentality is so strong. I think that it will not be a problem for him to walk. Senior, what do you think?" The warlord was speechless. Soon, he shook his head and said, "You don't understand. He looks strong, but that is built on the foundation of his true talent. If he did not walk on the Tao of coalescence, but the same Tao as the others, he might have already walked on two or even three Tao." The warlord sighed. Many people find it difficult to comprehend one Tao in their lifetime, but Zhang Tao, he comprehended the origin Tao. It was easy. If you have seen him attack, you can actually see a book, Fang Ping said quickly. "I have seen it before. When he attacked, a crystal book appeared." Lofty ambition. The warlord sighed again. Words are actually the manifestation of a Tao. Take Heavenly King Zhen's Tao, for example. One of the Tao is suppress. The manifestation of my Tao is destroy. The Yang families is kill. What does Zhang Tao want to do? Unification of Tao. Li Changxing's unification of Tao is to abandon other Tao and only walk on one. His unification of Tao is to truly devour thousands of Tao and integrate all Tao into his Tao of coalescence. When he creates a book, a few pages are just a few Tao. If one day his book becomes 10,000 pages, then it will be unification of Tao. But how difficult is this Tao to walk? Actually, he has already comprehended a few Tao now. Of course, it is just the tip of the iceberg. He did not go deep, just a taste, which is what you call the weak rank 9 Tao. Once he has a rough shape, he will integrate his Tao of coalescence. Fang Ping's eyes flickered. This Tao, I think it is quite suitable for me. Senior, how many Tao has the minister walked on now? I think he has 3, right? I'm not sure. If he doesn't go all out, who knows how many he has walked? Fang Ping muttered, "Using these embryonic Tao to feed my own Tao and strengthen myself." You don't say. The minister is quite an idea, but it is indeed difficult for him to do this. Even if his talent is terrifying to the extreme, comprehending a Tao embryonic form in a year, until now, it has only been less than 20 years. I'll count it as 20. Using 20 embryonic Tao to feed his own Tao is already so terrifying. What if he comprehended one Tao a day and fed it? Would it be stronger than him? This Tao of coalescence is too difficult for him. Coalescence Tao is a little interesting. Warlord looked at him like he was looking at an idiot. What are you talking about? One Tao a day? Are you treating me as an idiot? Or are you treating yourself as an idiot? Zhang Tao did not even mention 20 Tao. Zhang Tao had just achieved the peak not many years ago. Even if he started preparing for this when he was a rank 9, after so many years comprehending 10 Tao embryonic forms, that was not considered human anymore. That fellow was too scary. Comprehending a new Tao in 1 or 2 years, was that something a human could do? Fong Ping, on the other hand, was thinking even more. Fong Ping did not care about what Warlord was thinking. He rubbed his chin and said, "Minister, this coalescence Tao has really given me a lot of inspiration, but there is one more point that I am not too sure about. Does his coalescence Tao exist from the start, or is it a combination of other Tao paths? If it exists from the start, then what is he using as a foundation? Strengthening the trunk and letting the other branches provide nutrients for the trunk. This is probably the minister's idea. Then if I also walk on the coalescence Tao, what will my trunk be?" Fong Ping fell into deep thought. After all, he still had to prepare a main Tao for himself to walk on. The other Tao origins were a kind of filler. In fact, according to Fong Ping's understanding, if there was no way forward on his main Tao path, he would dig up the soil and stones from other Tao paths and then use them to fill up his main Tao path, paving it continuously. To others, this was very difficult, but to him it might not be so. If the system could allow him to comprehend other Tao paths, perhaps he could also walk many Tao paths. However, the Tao paths were too scattered, and each path required a lot of energy to walk. It was better to dismantle the other small Tao paths and integrate them into the Tao, making the Tao foundation more solid. The path that old Zhang wants to walk might be right, but he doesn't have the chance to walk further because he doesn't have my ability. Fong Ping suspected that if old Zhang had the system's ability, perhaps he would really walk hundreds of Tao paths and integrate them into himself. Even if they were all embryonic Tao paths, they might be much stronger than they were now. It's a pity that you don't have this chance. Fong Ping shook his head. Forget it. Since you can't walk on it, then I'll walk on your behalf. I want to walk on the coalescence Tao too. Coalescence Tao. I'll first determine my own main Tao path. Then I'll comprehend other Tao paths and integrate them into the trunk. One step a day, I'll walk longer than old Zhang in a few days. Fong Ping suddenly laughed, grinning from ear to ear. When that time came, he would also use the coalescence Tao to fight old Zhang. He flipped a few pages in his book. If he flipped hundreds or thousands of pages, would he break down? I don't necessarily need to use books. This is self-embodiment. I have to think about what I should use to embody it. Fong Ping was not thinking blindly. The current him had already reached rank 8-7 refinements. Logically speaking, rank 9 was close at hand. It was also time to think about rank 9. If the following 8 and 9 refinements were difficult to walk, he could comprehend the origin Tao and advance to rank 9 directly. It was a two-way choice. After roughly understanding the origin Tao, Fong Ping did not continue to ask. Soon, Fong Ping said, "Breaking through rank 9 from rank 8 is the first question. I still want to ask a few more questions. Secondly, how many rank 9 powerhouses are there in Sino Nation? I've seen some powerhouses guarding Mount Royal Sea before. They were all rank 9. There might also be rank 9 existences in some other boundaries. Senior, there are more than 48 rank 9s in Sino Nation. Can you tell me exactly how many there are?" "This is not a secret," Warlord laughed. "It's normal for some people not to be on the list. After all, the list has only been out for a few years. Many people don't even show their faces. The list won't record them unless they appear in the outside world and are known by others. There are 48 people on the list now. In fact, in the Mount Royal Sea area, there are probably," Warlord calculated for a while and said quickly, "there are still about 15 rank 9s guarding. Sino Nation has opened 24 catacombs passageways. A few of them are unguarded because the Paragon stays there for a long time. However, some Paragons don't stay there for a long time. Someone needs to keep an eye on them. There should be about 15 people. There's not much difference between the top and the bottom. I haven't been to some areas for a long time. I don't know the specific situation now. Also, there are 8 boundaries. You took the Chun families away. In Tianan, the Yang family is almost all dead. No humans have entered the Magic City catacombs. There's no one in the first grotto heaven either. It's the place guarded by the Leaf family's old geezer. There's no one from the Jiang family at Nanjiang that I'm guarding. In other words, there are still 4 boundaries that are being studied by the juniors of other families in Star City. I'm not sure exactly how many people there are. However, there are still 2 or 3 rank 9s in one area. If there are 4 areas, there should be about 10 people. Warlord thought for a while and said, also, there are actually a few weak rank 9s in the King Battleground. I didn't count them. There are about 4 or 5 of them. They stay there for a long time. Unless they officially take the first step on Origin Path, they won't leave. That's about 15 people. Including those at Mount Royal Sea, there are about 30 people in total. Warlord laughed. That's it. There are about 30 people left. Including the 50 people now, there should be about 80 rank 9 martial artists in Sino Nation. As he said that, he added, after eliminating Zhang Tao and the others, there are about 80 people left. There are also 5 or 6 people from the government who didn't make the list. It should be enough to fill their spots. About 80 people, Fong Ping said emotionally. Now I really understand Sino Nation's strength. It's stronger than I thought. According to this strength, it won't be a problem to pacify a few catacombs. Warlord laughed. Pacify the catacombs? Actually, we've been controlling the scale of the war between us and the catacombs. It can't be too big. If it's too big, it'll be a crisis for humanity. Fighting the catacombs is to let them know that we're not weak. Let them understand our willingness to fight. Of course, the most important thing is to seize resources. This is the reason for the existence of the war in the foreign lands. The purpose of the catacombs is to train soldiers, and also to suppress us, to prevent our strength from growing too fast. Actually, some of the passageways in the catacombs could have been opened a long time ago. Why haven't they been opened all this time? Why are they opening them so frequently now? They just don't give us time to complete the opening of the 108 passageways quickly and completely break open the barrier between the 2 worlds. I understand this. Fong Ping continued. This junior has a third question, which is also the last one. Humans, have you found a new planet that's suitable for us to live on? Warlord chuckled and shook his head. No, it's not that simple. Many years ago, someone mentioned that we should stop fighting and find a new place to live. Aren't the catacombs going to invade Earth? We'll just leave. If we can't win, then we'll leave. However, after so many years, there have actually been peerless powerhouses who have left Earth to explore the universe, but in the end, they found nothing. This is actually good. If there really was a way out, the current situation might not be like this. It's because there's no way out that everyone can resist the catacombs together. Because if Earth is lost, people like us will be rootless duckweed. Based on the situation in the catacombs, ordinary people might really have a way out. But there are dozens of desperate realm powerhouses in the catacombs. If it were you, would you dare to put these people who have lost their country and are so powerful that they could take their heads at any time in front of your house? Therefore, when that time comes, even if we suffer heavy losses, even if we retreat to defend a region, we will still be surrounded and killed. Warlord laughed. This is good too. But don't say, although we haven't found a place to live, countries are still working together to create a final retreat. Maybe after a few years, you young people will really wander the universe. When that time comes, whether you live or die will depend on your luck. Maybe after wandering for a few hundred years, you can also find a new place to live. At this realm, it's hard to die even after a few hundred years. Fong Ping chuckled. I'm not going to wander. Lock myself in a space capsule every day? If I live in a black box for a few hundred years, I'd rather stay. The people in the catacombs might not be able to find me. Fong Ping was done with his questions. When he was done talking, he said, Senior, I'm preparing to go to the Magic City catacombs this month. I'll have to trouble you to send me there. Sure. It just so happens that your divine weapon has been modified too. Warlord tossed a Changdao to Fong Ping, chuckling. Don't use a divine weapon like an ordinary weapon. Don't waste a rank 9 divine weapon. Even Polaris City doesn't have many of them. This divine weapon came from a giant crocodile. Its strength was not weak when it was alive. If it's used properly, the giant crocodile will also have the combat strength of a weak rank 9 at critical moments. Of course, It depends on your control of the divine weapon and the mentality you need to provide. A weak rank 9's combat strength is where the divine weapon comes in. At critical moments, use the divine weapon to block disasters, block people, besiege, escape. These are all great weapons. A weak rank 9 can also block powerhouses in the path of origin for a long time. Don't always treat a divine weapon like an alloy weapon. You can keep it as a pet. Fong Ping understood. He chuckled again. I know this. It's just that I've improved too quickly. I don't have much time to control these. After all, Senior, you know that it's only been 2 years and I'm almost rank 9. The rank 7 and rank 8 divine weapons from before are of limited use to me now. Warlord was speechless for a moment. After a while, he said sullenly, All right, you can go back first. Don't come to me if there's nothing important. Right now, he suddenly had the urge to beat someone up. Chapter 790. Coming out from the underground hall, Fong Ping brought Pudgy Jiang along. As they walked, he asked, Senior, you don't have any special hobbies, do you? Jiang Chao was at a loss. Then, with a wretched expression, he whispered, I don't think so. He's been in Mount Royal Sea for hundreds of years, and he doesn't have much time to come out. This doesn't happen when he's back in Star Town. However, in Mount Royal Sea, I don't know if he went out to capture a few catacombs females. Fong Ping was dumbfounded. After waiting for a while, Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that he had not been hit. What was this damn fatty thinking? Am I talking about this? I was just asking if the War King had the habit of eavesdropping. This damn fatty actually said something like that. He didn't even know how to respond. However, Fatty did not get beaten up even after saying that. Fong Ping felt that Warlord probably did not have a habit of doing that, so he did not ask further. He coughed softly and asked, How's your cultivation recently? Not bad. The effects of the Heavenly Golden Lotus are quite good. Is there any hope for rank 8? Rank 8. One Heavenly Golden Lotus isn't enough for rank 8. Jiang Chao shook his head and said helplessly, If I eat all of the Heavenly Golden Lotus, my mentality will probably reach 2000 hertz, and I'll be able to achieve middle stage rank 7. However, the effects of the Heavenly Golden Lotus would not be that great. It would be difficult for him to reach the higher echelon of the Heavenly Golden Lotus. At the very least, we need some better heavenly materials and earthly treasures. When you reach rank 8, you can quickly refine 5 or 6. Jiang Chao glanced at him and laughed dryly. Fong Ping, you're already a rank 8 7th refinement. Why are you still asking about this? As soon as Fong Ping asked, he knew that this guy had his eyes on him. Jiang Chao laughed dryly and said, I was just saying, how could it be that simple? What opportunity? What fortuitous encounter? If you don't want to say it, then forget it. Fong Ping said nonchalantly, I'm just asking casually. When you reach rank 8, I might even be at the peak. Maybe I can even help you. Jiang Chao looked at him suspiciously and didn't say anything for a while. As they walked, they exited the passageway and arrived at MCMAU. Only then did Jiang Chao say hesitantly, I don't know what kind of opportunity it is. My family's elder ancestor said that there's probably hope. Maybe it's related to domain? Fong Ping muttered. The lake of imperishable substances in the bounded zone can help people hone their golden bodies rapidly. However, the prerequisite for this was that he had sufficient mental strength. The imperishable substance could also increase one's spiritual power, but it was extremely slow. In that case, it wasn't just the matter of the indestructible substance. There had to be something else. In order for a person to go from barely rank 8 to 5 or 6 refinements of rank 8, it would require an increase of several thousand hertz of mentality. What kind of treasure could allow someone to do this? As Fong Ping walked, he muttered, I've eaten the fruit borne by the impasse before. The effect is not bad. But to say that it could increase a person's mental energy by several thousand hertz in one go, unless it was the only result of a desperate realm. It could only be formed once in one's life, and each time, It would consume countless resources and even one's own life force and strength. There shouldn't be any desperate realm demon plants in the domain, right? Could it be that it wasn't just the impasse demon plant, but there were other things that could do this? The domain has existed for countless years. It would not be strange for it to be able to do so. Fong Ping was still talking, but Jiang Chao was speechless. I don't even know what's going on, but your guess is so logical. Fong Ping ignored him and continued. Nanjiang's catacombs has always been a place where you've been guarding. In Nanjiang's catacombs, Fong Ping's expression suddenly changed, saying softly, Nanjiang's catacombs, 9 Southern Territory. North Lake's catacombs, 10 Southern Territory. Between North Lake's catacombs and Tiannan's catacombs is the Void Mausoleum Grotto Heaven. And between North Lake's catacombs and Nanjiang's catacombs is mysterious Purple Cave Illumination, which is also Purple Cap Mountain. Purple Cap Mountain, Demon Emperor, the area where that group of people attacked the catacombs 1,000 years ago. The border between North Lake's catacombs and Nanjiang's catacombs was Purple Cap Mountain. Purple Cap Mountain was related to Unquestionable Sword and the battle 1,000 years ago. As for the Nanjiang catacombs that War King guarded, this was the domain, which was actually Purple Cap Mountain. According to the ancient books, Purple Cap Mountain's ranking among the Blessed Grotto Heaven was not considered high. There were still many domains today, and there was nothing special about mysterious Purple Cave Illumination. However, the key was that Purple Cap Mountain was related to the Demon Emperor Unquestionable Sword, a powerhouse who was suspected to have walked 3 great paths, who was suspected to have participated in the War of the Kings and the Battlefield of the Kings, the battle that destroyed the sects 1,000 years ago, and the existence that ended a few eras. If it was related to him, then some things were worth paying attention to. Although the Demon Emperor had fallen, whether he was dead or resurrected, or like the 2 kings, finding a place to hibernate was hard to say. Was the Demon Emperor really dead? If he was dead, who killed him? If he was really killed, would the catacombs need to be so afraid of the Demon Emperor? Knowing that Fong Ping might be the resurrected Demon Emperor, they immediately started a comprehensive wanted list, wanting to kill Fong Ping. Was it because they were sure that the Demon Emperor was dead and did not want to give him another chance? Or was it because they were not sure and could only judge through some traces, so they were not willing to let go of anyone who might be related to the Demon Emperor? The opportunity that Senior War King mentioned. I'm afraid it's in Purple Cap Mountain. If that's the case, Senior War King might have been to Purple Cap Mountain. He had been guarding the Nanjiang catacombs before. Maybe he really found something. Purple Cap Mountain, Fong Ping repeated in his heart for a while. He had never been to North Lake's catacombs. Neither had he been to Purple Cap Mountain in the next moment. Fong Ping suddenly thought of a question, murmuring, the catacombs' passageways. Are there really only one domain? Or can one enter the catacombs anywhere? Beside him, Jiang Chao said with a look of surprise, Isn't it? Could it be that there are a few passageways in the catacombs? No, I'm just thinking of a question. Fong Ping took a deep breath and said slowly, the bounded domain is a blessed grotto heaven, and blessed grotto heaven. In fact, even in the modern era, some places still exist. For example, the first grotto heaven, Mount Wanwu. Mount Wanwu exists on Earth. And the catacombs also have the first grotto heaven. Was the name Mount Wanwu given to it later? Or has it always been the same? Jiang Chao scratched his head and said, What you mean is that the blessed grotto heaven is actually related to the blessed grotto heaven in the modern era. Are you trying to say that the blessed grotto heaven on Earth might have been able to enter the bounded domain directly in the past? It's just that it's sealed now. The blessed grotto heaven in the past referred to both Mount Wanwu and the first grotto heaven. They were both one. But now, they've been separated. Is that what you mean? Fong Ping smiled and said, That's right. Do you think Mount Wanwu has a passageway that leads directly to the first grotto heaven? According to the current saying, the Xuanda Grotto Heaven is around Mount Taibai. There are even Xuanda Grotto Heaven ruins in Mount Taibai. Does Mount Taibai have a passageway that leads to the Xuanda Grotto Heaven? It's the same for other places. If there isn't, does that mean that the passageway has deviated? If there is, Does that mean that there are still passageways that haven't been opened yet? The 108 passageways that have been opened up now may only be opened up here in the catacombs. As for humans, perhaps the passageways that were opened back then were inside the bounded domain. Fong Ping's eyes flickered. I've been thinking that the passageways now generally exist at the edge of the Forbidden Sea. Coincidentally, almost all of them are in the central region of the bounded domain. If there was such a passageway back then, don't tell me that people from the bounded domain had to travel thousands of miles to enter and exit Earth. Or perhaps the passageway that exists now was just a public passageway back then. After all, in the central region, it's relatively convenient to go to the bounded domain on both sides. In reality, there are still passageways that lead to the human world in the bounded domain. Huh, Jiang Chao scratched his head and said in surprise, "Yeah, what you said seems to make sense. If I open a door, of course I have to open a door at the front of my house. I have to run thousands of miles away to open a passageway, and then I have to walk thousands of miles every time I enter and exit. How tiring. I can just dig a hole at home, and I can reach Earth. Why would I need to open a passageway in such a faraway place?" Fong Ping laughed. "I'm saying if these grotto heavens that exist in the real world are the bounded domain's branches on Earth, then you can go directly to the branches. Why do you have to make a detour? Maybe the Earth's branches are where their outer sect is located. Entering the inner sect from the outer sect is the style of ancient martial artists. That means that they are actually connected. So, if passageways exist, it's very normal for them to exist in these places." Fong Ping exhaled and said, "I rarely go to other places in the real world. Maybe I should really walk around and take a look. I think it's not just me. Others should have thought about this too. Did they not discover it, or did they discover it but didn't open it?" After Fong Ping finished speaking, he did not wait for Jiang Chao to speak and continued, "Or they don't dare. After all, this passageway might lead directly to the bounded domain, and there might be living people in the bounded domain." Jiang Chao said sheepishly, "There's no need for you to think about this now, right?" Fong Ping laughed. "Is there no need? I think there's a need. If I can directly enter Magic City's bounded domain from the human world, then I can catch the other party off guard. Instead of being blocked by the other party and letting them have the geographical advantage. If MCMU wants to counterattack the other party, then we can only force our way in through the passageway, but there are 18 ranked 9 powerhouses outside. If that's the case, if our people go out one by one, then we'll be surrounded. Even if we go out together, we still have to be careful. The moment we go out, the other party will join forces and attack us. If we're the slightest bit careless, then we'll die. Even if we don't die, if the other party has the upper hand, then it'll still be a big problem. You want to find another passageway?" Fong Ping laughed. "I want to look for it. If there is, then will something interesting happen if we enter the bounded domain directly at the pinnacle? Right now, the impasse doesn't go to the bounded domain because it's too dangerous. The periphery is dangerous. The periphery is set up with a large number of traps and restrictions. This should be to prevent the enemy from attacking the inside. That's why they build it at a huge cost. But inside, I think a sect doesn't have to set up so many dangers inside as well." Jiang Chao said faintly, "It's best not to. If there really is a passageway, some of the old antiques in the bounded domain may not be good people. My elder ancestor has also said this before. Then, won't they just fight their way in? But I think even if there was a passageway in the past, when they sealed the bounded domain, it was probably sealed too. It definitely can't be opened easily." "That's true." Fong Ping smiled and nodded. He glanced at him again and laughed. "You're not stupid after all. It's so simple." Jiang Chao chuckled. "All right, Fong Ping, do you really want to fight back? If you fight back, they're all guarding now. That's the battle of the catacombs. There are so many rank 9s, it won't be easy to fight." Speaking of this, Jiang Chao said again, "Elder Ancestor said that the other party has 18 rank 9s. Instructor Gua and the others have just broken through after all. Although they have stepped into the origin path, they're not that strong. It's not a big problem to hold up an origin path or to defeat a weak rank 9s. But 1 against 2 weak rank 9s, I think it's a little difficult. If they want to drag it out, it'll be even harder to win. What does the government say about this? Are you going to ask for reinforcements? Are you going to ask FMS's Vice-Chancellor Nan? Fong Ping looked at him with some surprise. This guy was still concerned about this? Why are you asking this? Jiang Chao smiled sheepishly. I'm just asking. I'm done asking. If you're going to ask, I'm thinking if I should send an anonymous letter to warn Nan Yunping. Maybe it's not good to be anonymous. Maybe I should sign my name. Is this considered doing a favor? Nan Yunping was Nan Yunyue's older sister. Should he take the opportunity to build a relationship with Nan Yunyue? That was a peerless powerhouse. 18 rank 9s. I'll try my best to race horses. Fong Ping said casually. The weak fighting the strong fighting the weak. In short, he still had to wait and see. Leaving Jiang Chao behind, Fong Ping started wandering around the campus. Almost all the high-rank powerhouses were in closed-door cultivation. Most of the middle-rank powerhouses were the same. At this moment, there were not many people still wandering around the campus. After walking for a while, Fong Ping heard a familiar voice. Not far away, Fong Yuan chattered, "We can't enter the Magic City catacombs now, but we're already so strong. The evil sect martial artists have been defeated. We won't be able to improve for a while. We can't just stay in school every day, can we? I think we should go to the catacombs. Go to Nanjiang Catacombs. My hometown is in Nanjiang. Nanjiang Catacombs is very close to my hometown. I'm already a middle stage rank 3. I'm already very strong in Nanjiang Martial Arts University. You guys are also ranked 2 and 3 martial artists. Don't think that we're weak in MCMAU. We're very strong in other places. In my hometown, I can even be a commander. Yuanyu, call me president. How many times have I reminded you?" Fong Yuan's dissatisfied voice came. A young girl giggled. "All right, President Yuan Yuan. President Yuan Yuan, we can go, but you can't. Vice-Chancellor Fong is very strict now. If he finds out that we went to the catacombs with you, we'll be expelled. You saw it yesterday, too. Many seniors were expelled. I heard it was Vice-Chancellor Fong's order. The teachers in the school said that it's better to expel them. No one spoke up for them. I don't dare to go with you. You're just a coward." Fong Yuan said gloomily. "We're already ranked 3 martial artists, but we're still treated like children. Cultivating in the school will take a while. How can we achieve rank for so easily? I've seen it on the internet. Outsiders say that MCMAU is very strong, but they're all Vitality martial artists. I'm so angry. I'm not a Vitality martial artist. But we're Vitality martial artists. Nonsense. Vitality martial artists haven't killed people before. I've killed people, okay. I've killed a lot of people. Blood flowed like rivers. It's not like you don't know that the last time I went on a mission, there were corpses everywhere. Yuan, you're still talking about this. Didn't Instructor Bai say that you only killed 2 people and cried for a long time? Nonsense. A few girls started chattering noisily. Fong Ping glanced at Fong Yuan in the crowd, then looked at some rank 2 and 3 martial artists who had nothing to do. Most of them were rank 3. The rank 2 martial artists were now striving to achieve rank 3. After all, the 200 people expelled yesterday were all rank 2 martial artists, which made many people tremble in fear. However, there were many rank 3 martial artists in the school, more than 5,000 of them. So many rank 3 martial artists had nothing to do now. If they wanted to break through to middle rank, it would not be a problem for them to do so in a few days. More than 5,000 rank 3 martial artists staying in the school all the time is indeed a waste. Fong Ping thought to himself, perhaps these rank 3 martial artists should go to other catacombs to gain experience. Nowadays, the dangerous catacombs were not everywhere. The truly dangerous catacombs were Magic City, Capital City, Xishan, Shijiang, Beijiang. These catacombs had high-rank battles at every turn. It was not just 1 or 2, but dozens. If things went awry, a true king battle might even break out. However, not all 24 catacombs in Sino Nation were like this. There were only a few high-rank battles. Rank 9's dying was a common occurrence. Tianan and the Forbidden City are more suitable for them. Fong Ping also realized that he had neglected something. Blindly cultivating did not mean that one could continue to improve. Before rank 9, enlightenment was not popular, but some enlightenment was needed. Especially at rank 6, it was needed to realize the Sanjiao Gate. It was also needed to break through to rank 7. It was possible to blindly throw money at peak rank 5. However, if one could not realize the Sanjiao Gate and could not materialize it, it would be a waste no matter how much money was thrown at them. Not only that, there's also the Martial Arts University Championship. Fong Ping suddenly thought of something. According to the usual pattern, the Martial Arts University Championship should start soon. However, after the end of the second championship last year, the Martial Arts University rankings were fixed. This year, it was not as intense as last year. Until now, no one had mentioned it. The Martial Arts University Championship. If I talk about the competition for tens of billions of resources now, it might not be able to pique people's interest. However, now that the Sino Nation evil sect martial artists have been killed, it's dangerous for these people to go to the catacombs. If they don't go, they won't have the chance to practice. The Martial Arts University Championship is actually not bad. Fong Ping had participated in 2 martial arts university championships. He had gained a lot from both of them. During the first championship, Fong Ping felt a lot. During the second championship, he had fought with Wang Jinyang and the others and gained a lot too. Maybe it's time to let these people participate. Fong Ping glanced at Fong Yuan. This sister of his liked to cause trouble. She did not like to stay in school and cultivate. It was a headache for him. He could not bear to go to the catacombs. If he did not go to the catacombs, this girl could not stay idle. Fine. I'll find something for you to do, so that you don't cause trouble when I leave school. Who knows which catacombs you sneak off to? Fong Ping did not show himself. Very quickly, he disappeared on the spot. On the 5th of December, MCMAU communicated with the Education Ministry and came to a conclusion. On the morning of the 5th, the Education Ministry sent a letter. The third Martial Arts University Championship was about to begin. This time, it was limited to martial artists below the middle ranks. This time, the participating schools did not receive some allocated resources like in the previous years. Instead, they received some quotas. MCMU would organize some student exchanges. This time, MCMU would provide 500 quotas for the exchange. Each school would be ranked according to the previous year's rules. The higher the ranking, the more quotas they would receive. They could send some people to MCMU and receive the same treatment as MCMU students. This was for the outside world. Internally, MCMU's rules were that they must be number 1. Undeniably number 1. Under Fong Ping's leadership, MCMU had won 2 consecutive championships. Today, MCMU had a strong army and strong horses. There was no reason for them to lose the first place. However, this time, there were restrictions. Only those below the middle ranks could participate. However, against low-ranked martial artists, MCMU martial artists really did not have an advantage. Nowadays, most of the low-ranked martial artists have forced their way up. Their speed was extremely fast. Other than a few people, most of them had almost zero combat experience. Among the 5,000 rank 3 martial artists, 80% were freshmen. As for the freshmen, they had not been in school for long. Almost all the new students had not participated in the big battle in November. After they entered school, it was only in November that a large-scale battle broke out. These people could be said to be vitality martial artists. The only thing that was slightly stronger than vitality martial artists was that they had learned combat techniques. Many vitality martial artists did not even learn combat techniques. They only cultivated their vitality. Rank 3 martial artists were not considered much in MCMAU. They were synonymous with new students. However, in other martial arts universities, although rank 3 martial artists were not rare, they were still elite students. These people did not have as many resources as MCMAU. In order to achieve rank 3, they could not achieve it in a short period of time. Moreover, the rank 3 martial artists that were selected were martial artists who had participated in many battles and had incomparable combat experience. Whether it was experience, these people had more than MCMAU's 3 lower ranks martial artists. It was not that easy for MCMAU to keep the first place. As for the school, Fong Ping was not too harsh on them. He only said one thing. If they lost, then the school's 500 places would not be given to others for nothing. 500 MCMU students would go on an exchange. The so-called exchange was exile. Let these students go to other schools. When would they return to MCMU? Think about it next year. If MCMU won next year, these people would return to MCMU or simply represent other schools to participate in the battle. If they won MCMU, they would still return to MCMU. Otherwise, he might as well stay in another school. As for which 500 people would go on an exchange, the places had not been decided. Naturally, they would know after they lost. When the news came out, the atmosphere in MCMU suddenly became tense. Go to other schools to cultivate? MCMU students were not fools. They knew the difference between MCMU and other martial arts universities. In other martial arts universities, it was extraordinarily difficult for them to obtain a rank 3 vitality pill. Even if the price of pills kept dropping, the basic vitality pill's price was shockingly low. It was still 10,000 per pill. Compared to Fong Ping's original price, it was 10 times lower. However, rank 3 vitality pills were also expensive. Now that martial arts universities had a unified credit system, it was 10,000 per credit. Even so, a rank 3 vitality pill was worth 30 credits, which was 300,000. In reality, it was already frighteningly cheap. Fong Ping still remembered that when he exchanged for a rank 2 vitality pill, he had to pay 20 credits per pill. That was the time when 1 credit was worth 30,000. At that time, a rank 2 vitality pill was worth more than 600,000. As for a rank 3, it was worth 1.5 million. It was only now that the government, in order to promote the popularization of martial arts, and in addition to the abundant resources now, had lowered the price by a large margin. It was not that they were unwilling to popularize martial arts, but that they could not. There was no other way. In the past, there were few entrances to the catacombs, and humans were weak. The resources they received were very little, and it was difficult to satisfy the cultivation needs of millions of martial artists. The high price was actually also to ensure that martial artists had enough resources to cultivate. Fong Ping had often argued with the 2 major companies at that time. He felt that the price was too high and the purchase price was too low. Now that he thought about it, there was actually no other way back then. The pill company had stockpiled a lot of pills. They had not used them before because they wanted to stock up. They would only distribute them when martial arts were popularized. Otherwise, according to everyone's previous consumption rate, if the price was low, there might not be any pills left. Popularizing martial arts would be a joke. However, even if the price was lowered, the vitality pills for rank 3 martial artists to cultivate were still 300,000 per pill. If rank 3 martial artists really wanted to cultivate freely, it was necessary to consume 1 pill every 3 days. In a month, that would be an expenditure of 3 million. And this was just regular cultivation. A rank 3 martial artist's regular cultivation for a year would be tens of millions. Not everyone was like Fong Ping and had the means to earn money. Based on their consumption in MCMAU, it would start at a few hundred million in a year. They were used to eating extravagant meals. If they were asked to nibble on cornbread for a day or two, it would be fine, but for a year, the 500 people who were sent away would want to die. Now that they were at the same rank as their classmates, when they returned, they would still be rank 3. It was not surprising that the students who stayed in MCMAU had achieved rank 5. Considering this, who would not be worried? For a while, the news about the 3rd Martial Arts University Championship had spread among the 3 lower ranks of MCMU martial artists. Choosing who to participate in the competition was also a big challenge. The fate of 500 students was in their hands. The pressure was not ordinary. Meanwhile, the outside world was also cheering excitedly. Go to MCMU. MCMU was now the holy land of cultivation. Not only that, the official announcement was not all. In private, there was reliable news that MCMU would participate in the competition. Any team that defeated MCMU would be able to obtain a batch of extra resources. This so-called batch, with MCMU's generosity, was really not small. Defeating the MCMU team would be able to obtain 50 caddies of rank 9 energy stones. In terms of caddies, it was not their gram. Even the lowest price in the market was more than 15 billion. There was still a price, but no supply, and the price was only to defeat a few rank 3 martial artists. At that moment, the entire martial arts university was in an uproar. Defeat MCMEU. This sentence had also become the slogan of all martial arts universities. The more they won in the end, the greater the reward. This time's champion team. If it was not MCMEU, another champion team would be able to obtain 50 places to enter MCMEU. This could mean 50 rank 5 martial artists. This was a basic number. A year's time was enough for them to enter rank 5 in MCMEU. For those who were more talented and knew how to work hard, rank 6 might not be a problem. If MCMEU really wanted to give them the same treatment and give them some help when they reached rank 6, rank 7, it might not be impossible. This concerned everyone's future. Who wouldn't be excited? At this time, MCMU's low-rank martial artists were no longer idle. Each and every one of them was extremely nervous. According to the school, as long as they did not lose badly, then there would be 500 slots. What a miserable defeat. Perhaps it would not be just 500 slots. If it was too shameful, even 1,000 was possible. In any case, MCMEU had a lot of people, close to 10,000 students. If they expelled 1,000 people for no reason, it would be a big deal. However, if they were to exchange 1,000 people, it would not be a big deal for each of the 100 martial arts universities to give 10 people to each of them. On the other hand, if MCMEU absorbed some of the elites from various martial arts universities, they would be stronger if they could stay. 9 Heavens, Divine Emperors. Chapter 791. In the office, Chen Yunqi said with admiration, "Fong Ping, the school is much better now that you're here. Low-rank students are cultivating combat techniques and waiting for the selection of contestants. Middle-rank martial artists are cultivating, while high-rank martial artists are preparing for the big battle. This way, everyone in MCMAU is performing their duties. There's no more chaos or restlessness." Chen Yunqi had always thought that Fong Ping was the most powerful. Reality proved that it was true. A simple championship had solved a lot of problems. Fong Ping chuckled. "It's just SOSO. I'm just going with the flow. All right? I don't care if it's through the back door or something. Do something shady and let Fong Yuan participate." Chen Yunqi was all smiles. "Okay. Are you going to let Fong Yuan step onto the stage officially?" Fong Ping looked at her in surprise. After a while, he coughed and said, "That. I'll tell all the martial arts universities through some channels. Whoever defeats Fong Yuan will be rewarded with a caddy of energy stones, or resources of equal value, or something else. I'm telling this be *TCH that she's too weak. Catacombs martial artists kill without batting an eye. Even on the surface, they're still weak. Same-ranked martial artists can beat her like it's child's play. Let's see if she still has the face to mention going to the catacombs. This girl, I left her alone for a few days and she's instigating her classmates to go to the catacombs with her. She doesn't want to live anymore." Chen Yunqi suddenly sympathized with Fong Yuan. "Your brother is too ruthless. There's an extra reward for defeating you. You're a middle-stage rank 3 martial artist. You're considered weak if you go to the competition. Forget about the extra reward. You'll lose even without you. Now that you have it, I'm afraid you'll doubt your life if you lose. When the time comes, MCMU will do something shady and let her go first in every battle, losing every match. Thinking of this, Chen Yunqi said sympathetically, "Isn't that too ruthless? Would she be able to withstand such a huge blow?" Fong Yuan is only 16 years old after all. Fong Ping sighed. "She can't even take this kind of defeat. Do you expect her to take on something even more difficult? When you participated in the championship, they didn't even give you a chance to fight. Big Lion said you're not suitable for the competition. Forget about the logistics. At that time, you didn't even know about the catacombs, but you made it. That's different. It's the same." Fong Ping chuckled. "You don't have to worry about these things. In martial arts cultivation, it's better to suffer losses at the hands of your own people than at the hands of your enemies. At least our own people won't kill her. Fong Ping continued. I'm going to Capital City to visit the Vice-Chancellor in the next 2 days. I don't know what's going on. When I come back from Capital City, I'm going to the catacombs. Fong Ping paused for a moment and glanced at Qin Yunxi. He smiled again and said, don't go in a closed-door cultivation for the time being. Polish your realm properly. You want to reach rank 7 from Mentality Vitality Unity. It's not a good thing to rely on heaven and earth treasures to force your way up. Although you often go to the catacombs, you don't have much combat experience. At least, you haven't experienced many rank 6 battles. If I rashly control rank 7's power, it'll be troublesome if I lose control. I know. That's good. Fong Ping briefed Qin Yunxi and settled MCMAU's affairs. On the 6th of December, Fong Ping set off for Capital City to check on Wu Quishan. Just as Fong Ping made his move, Capital City, in a courtyard house, 3 desperation realms had arrived. They surrounded Wu Quishan, who was floating in the middle, frowning. What's the situation now? Nan Yunhua looked at him for a while, frowning. Logically speaking, whether he can integrate the origin path or not, he should be awake by now. Otherwise, if there's a conflict, he should have died long ago. He's not dead, but he's not awake either. It's been almost 20 days. Li Jun crossed his arms and stared at Wu Quishan for a while. He shook his head and said, I'm not sure. Maybe he's digesting mysterious jade, true king's path. While they were talking, Zhang Tao kept staring at Wu Quishan. After staring for a long time, Zhang Tao started stroking his chin. After a while, he seemed to be deep in thought. The other 2 looked at him, waiting for him to continue. In the next moment, Zhang Tao said slowly, I should grow a beard, the long kind, so people don't see me as a young man. Nan Yunhua and Li Jun's expressions were ugly. How could he still be in the mood to talk about this at a time like this? Zhang Tao didn't care about them. He chuckled and said, It's nothing, this fellow is a little interesting. I told him to swallow mysterious jade's Tao, and now he really listened to me. But he didn't swallow it. Zhang Tao seemed to notice something. He smiled again and said, It's really interesting. He seems to have wrapped mysterious jade's Tao outside of his own Tao. What do you mean? Li Jun didn't understand. Zhang Tao looked at him with disdain. He continued, that is to say, he is using mysterious jade's Tao on the surface, but he is using mysterious jade's Tao to nourish his origin path. The outside is mysterious jade's origin path, but the inside is his own. I don't know if this is 1 Tao or 2 Tao. He took advantage of the time when his origin path was weak to fuse his origin path into it. There's no conflict? Li Jun said in surprise. Why isn't there a conflict in his origin path? Under normal circumstances, this kind of external Tao was not comprehended by oneself and would conflict with one's origin path. Zhang Tao rubbed his chin again. After a long time, he said, his origin path is a little special. Boundless love? Zhang Tao laughed in spite of himself and said, maybe that's what it means. Inclusive origin path protection? Mysterious Jade's origin path also needs to be protected. That's why there isn't any conflict with him now. But this isn't good, Zhang Tao murmured. In this case, once he wakes up, he might be in a desperate situation. It might not be a good thing. Mysterious Jade's Tao is too powerful, and his own Tao is too weak. Once he reaches the apex by relying on Mysterious Jade's origin path, even if he nourishes his own origin path, it will be difficult for him to reach the apex himself in the future. Li Jun nodded and said, that's right. One Tao has already reached the apex. Wanting to achieve a second Tao is really too difficult. It has to change. Thinking up to here, Zhang Tao's mental power fluctuated and said, Little Wu, don't think about reaching the apex first. There's no hurry. If it's possible, let your origin path digest a part of Mysterious Jade's origin path. It's better to advance both at the same time. Like this, even if you don't have absolute combat strength, there won't be any restrictions. Instead, you will be able to walk far down both Taos. Afterwards, whether you reach the apex with 2 Taos, or rely on your own Tao and finally absorb Mysterious Jade's Tao, it's up to you to choose. Wu Quishan didn't reply, but his aura began to change. At this time, Nan Yunyue suddenly said, Zhang Tao, you can even see the changes in his origin path. Feel it with your heart. Zhang Tao smiled. In addition, I've seen it many times, so I'm used to it. This sort of change in origin path. I can often feel it, so I can roughly guess what it is. As these words were spoken, the two of them were left speechless. Li Jun glanced at him and lightly said, enough nonsense. When will you give me the energy stones? Look at you. Zhang Tao sneered. You haven't arrived yet, and I already sent someone to deliver them. It's just a ton. Why are you in such a hurry? Let's not talk about this for now. Zhang Tao avoided this topic. He thoughtfully said, before reaching the apex, isn't it a bit simpler to explore two Daos? You also know that after reaching the apex, one's Dao is too strong and walking a second Dao is too difficult. If one Dao reaches 0, 99 and cannot reach the apex, then one can walk a second Dao and walk this Dao to 0, 99. Then can one directly reach the apex of two Daos? Li Jun said tiredly. How could it be so simple? One Dao is already difficult to walk, let alone two. Walk two unreliable Daos together to reach the apex, or walk a single reliable Dao to reach the apex. Which do you think is easier? If you ask Zhang Weiyu to walk the second Dao now, can he walk it out? Even if he can, how long will it take? Rather than that, it is better to let him enter a hopeless situation now. That is the only benefit we can obtain. Don't think about those unreliable things. Unreliable? Zhang Tao unhappily said. This is called unreliable? The martial path is to grow through exploration. How can this be called unreliable? If you say it's impossible, then Wu Quishan might be able to walk such a Dao. Of course, Xian Yu's Dao is external, so his future achievements are limited. But when it really comes to that time, he will also be stronger than the average apex. As he spoke, Zhang Tao looked at Li Jun and said, how far have you walked your second great Dao? Li Jun said coolly, aren't you very capable? See for yourself. Can't be bothered to see. Zhang Tao said disapprovingly, even if you walked out 999 meters, that's also nothing, not worthy of my attention. What I'm thinking about now is if you crush this Dao and fuse it into your own sword Dao, will it make you stronger? Li Jun frowned and said, I'm not fooling around like you. The situation now is critical. If I walk two Daos, I'll be stronger, becoming an existence comparable to Life King's. On the other hand, if I crush this Dao, the result is that my sword Dao gains aren't great, then I'll drop Cultivation Realm again, no different from now. Then these 5 years of hard work will all be for naught. We don't have this kind of time to waste anymore. Crushing that Dao that had yet to reach the apex, perhaps it could make him stronger, or perhaps there would be no change, and it would hurt himself instead. If that was the case, the second Dao that he walked these few years would be wasted. But if the second Dao reached the apex, he would be a powerful apex to begin with. Perhaps he would become an existence like Life King's. Life King's had walked 2 great Daos, and it had been a very long time. He was a top-notch desperate realm expert, comparable to Life King's. Zhang Tao sighed lightly and said, comparable to Life King's is not enough. Although Life Kings aren't weak, being able to fight 1 against 3 is probably his limit. He can block 3 apex, but can he block 4? What about 5? Desperate realm experts didn't show any intrinsic changes, unable to produce a crushing effect. So what if there were 3 great Daos? Experts who walked 3 great Daos, even if their battle prowess reached 2 something points, dealing with 5 apex? 7? Or 9? Would he be able to block 10 of them? Not necessarily. If he could really kill the other party, even when fighting 1 against 10, then Demon Emperor would have already won back then. Therefore, it's useless to be comparable to Life Kings. Let's not talk about whether there is anyone stronger than Life Kings. You are comparable to Life Kings, but you can barely block 3 true monarchs. In fact, there isn't much of an effect. Li Jun was speechless, and Nan Yunyue was even more helpless. She said, Zhang Tao, you are getting more and more arrogant by the day. Now that Life Kings are useless, what about you? You boast so much about yourself, but I have never seen you display your true strength. You can't even fight 1 against 2, and now you are looking down on Li Jun. You really know how to boast. What do you know? Zhang Tao sneered and said, I fought 1 against 5, including Maple Monarch and Life King, and I still beat them until they fled. You actually dare to question my strength? Li Jun didn't want to say anything, and Nan Yunyue didn't want to speak either. Continue boasting. It wasn't like everyone didn't know the situation. Life King didn't even make a move, and Maple Monarch and the others were afraid that he would join hands with Heavenly King Jin, so they prepared to leave. They didn't flee because of Zhang Tao. As they were talking, Zhang Tao looked to the south, smiling. That kid can't wait anymore. He's here. After a while, Li Jin said, just in time, let's go meet him and ask about the Magic City catacombs, what this kid is planning. MCMU still doesn't have a definite answer. Magic City catacombs still needs to be fought back. Come, let's go meet him together. The 3 paragons took it seriously and quickly sent the message. Half an hour later, Fong Ping met the 3 paragons in a hall, a rather formal occasion. Fong Ping glanced at it. It seemed to be a reception hall like those he usually saw on television, used to receive foreign guests or local officials. The place was in the education department. Other than the 3 paragons, there were some other people accompanying them. Greetings, 3 ministers. Fong Ping greeted them politely, then looked at Wang Qinghai, who was below Zhang Tao, smiling. Congratulations, Minister Wang, for advancing further. Wang Qinghai smiled bitterly. Don't congratulate me. Although I have broken through to rank 9, I may not be your opponent. It was embarrassing to say it, but this was the truth. He was only a weak rank 9. Zhang Tao said calmly, Qinghai's weak ability lies in the lack of a divine weapon. With a rank 9 divine weapon, he will be much stronger. His golden body honing is also average, advancing to rank 9 when he just reached the early stage of 6th refinement. His vitality is only 110,000 calories now, and he doesn't have the Origin Dao's enhancement, 110,000 cal. That's just 110,000 calories. The destructive power is limited. When in battle, it depends on the foundation of vitality. Indeed, a weak rank 9 among the weak rank 9. Fong Ping smiled. I see. Minister Wang, MCMAU is still lacking a vice-chancellor. If Minister Wang is willing to go to MCMAU, all these are not a problem. Li Jun and Nan Yunyue could not help but want to laugh. Poaching the education department, didn't you, Zhang Tao, want to take advantage of them? Now you have shot yourself in the foot. Unexpectedly, the next moment, Zhang Tao suddenly looked at Wang Qinghai, saying lightly, Wang Qinghai, you have been demoted. You will go to MCMAU to be the vice-chancellor. Also, you will bring 5,000 men regiments from the 38,000 Wuan military regiment to MCMAU. This is also in consideration of your many years of contributions to the education department. I'm letting you take all the strength you have. Pack up later and go back to MCMAU with Fong Ping. Fong Ping's face was blank. I just said it. You this old shameless man. You actually threw him here? Not only did you throw Wang Qinghai, you even threw 5,000 people from the Wuan military regiment to MCMAU? Before he could speak, Wang Qinghai said helplessly with a sad face, All right, then I will pack up immediately. The deputy minister has become the vice-chancellor. Forget it. Since Vice-Chancellor Fong invited me, I will go. Minister, take care. Qinghai will take his leave first. Having said that, Wang Qinghai looked at Fong Ping and sighed. Vice-Chancellor Fong, I will rely on Vice-Chancellor Fong's support from now on. Going to MCMEU is good too. It is not easy to live under someone else's charity in the education department. I will pack up now. Remember to inform me when Vice-Chancellor Fong leaves. Having said that, Wang Qinghai turned around and left without another word. As for what Fong Ping would say, he had just said it himself, inviting Wang Qinghai to be the vice-chancellor. Reject now? Did Wang Qinghai not care about his reputation? He was a rank 9 powerhouse, the deputy minister of the education department, and he took good care of Fong Ping. If Fong Ping slapped him in the face in public, it would not just be his face, but his heart. His heart would be broken. Fong Ping, You are the one who went back on your words. Do you still have any integrity? This was a formal occasion. At some point, a camera had popped up beside them, pointing at Fong Ping. The corner of Fong Ping's mouth twitched. I give up. When it comes to being shameless, I really can't compare to old Zhang. He had to give up? Old Zhang had probably guessed what he would say and was waiting for him. If he had mentioned what Wang Qinghai lacked on purpose, old Zhang would have known what Fong Ping was going to say and taken advantage of the situation. Now that he said he did not want it, what could Wang Qinghai do? The corner of Fong Ping's mouth twitched, and he sat down slowly. Minister Wang demoted just like that. There is no need for a meeting to discuss it? Zhang Tao said indifferently. All right then, let's have a meeting to discuss it. Does anyone have any objections? Li Jun and Nan Yunhua looked at each other, speechless. What should we say? No objections. All right then, it's approved. Zhang Tao's expression was nonchalant. Fong Ping was speechless. He said again, Minister Wang can go to MCMAU, but forget about the 5,000 Yuan army. After all, it's the minister's blood, sweat, and tears. That won't do. Zhang Tao said lightly. This is a demotion for no reason. No matter what, they have to give some compensation. As a rank 9 martial artist, he can't really waste his time. Leading 5,000 Yuan army is enough to guard one catacomb. Just nice. Even if MCMAU doesn't want them, he can still lead the Wuan army to do some serious work. Fong Ping took another deep breath, gritted his teeth and said, All right, I have no objections. However, the Wuan army's funding needs the Ministry of Education. That's for sure. Zhang Tao smiled faintly. Every regiment will be allocated 100 million in financial resources every month. This is also the usual practice. If we calculate it this way, 5 regiments will be 500 million a month, 6 billion a year. Zhang Tao sighed. Then let's make it 6 billion. Although logically speaking, since it's not in the central government, it will be demoted, but now is not the time to be calculating these things. 6 billion a year, 5,000 martial artists. Fong Ping's expression changed again. In other words, a martial artist would only get 2 million a year? You must be kidding me. Beside him, Li Jun coughed softly and said, Minister Zhang, don't forget that there are still some subsidies. You're talking about the basic salary. Right. I almost forgot. There's a lot of subsidies too. The subsidies are slightly higher than the basic salary. In a year, it's about 12 billion, double the basic salary. If that's the case, that's 18 billion a year from the Ministry of Finance. Nurturing martial artists really costs a lot. I didn't even calculate the accounts before. Zhang Tao was filled with emotion. Fong Ping looked indignant. Don't joke with me. 6 million a year for a martial artist? Currently, the official price of rank 9 energy stones was quite high. However, the martial arts universities had already started to lower it to 600,000 a gram. 6 grams of energy stones? A year? Only 1 gram in 2 months. Seeing Fong Ping's indignation, Zhang Tao said lightly, This is the real standard. Fong Ping, I'm not kidding you. You don't have to worry about the Wuan army. Just arrange a place for them to stay in MCMAU. Under normal circumstances, they're all in the catacombs. Fong Ping saw Li Jun nod slightly and frowned. Is the government that poor? One person only gets 6 grams a year. An army of 100,000 people, the highest level army too, only 1,200 caddies a year. 3 departments and 4 prefectures, 7 armies directly under them. That's about 200,000 people. 2,400 caddies a year? Zhang Tao said lightly. This is a direct army, but there are many armies everywhere. Now, the military department has started to recruit again. It's not a small number. They're recruiting 1 million. In addition to the original 1 million, it's 2 million troops. If we follow this standard, it'll be 24,000 caddies a year. 12 tons of rank, 9 energy stones a year. Zhang Tao sighed. The government's energy stone reserve is now 60 tons. If converted into grade 9 energy stones, it will be equivalent to 60 tons of energy stones. Fong Ping, think about it. The government's reserve is only enough for the army to use for 5 years. However, other than the army, the martial arts universities and the houses of governors also need to allocate funds. After all, money and resources are different. Making money, we can make as much as we want, but the problem is that we don't have enough resources. According to the consumption of martial artists in the country and the annual allocation, 60 tons may seem like a lot, but with the current situation, we can spend it in 3 years. War may not be fruitful. We've already taken some of the mineral veins that can be taken away from the outer realm. The rest are hard to get. This is just the daily expenses. Once the war starts, the consumption will be even higher. War is a fight for resources. If the war is frequent, the resources will be depleted in 2 years at most. Zhang Tao laughed. That's why the number I've given is not fabricated, nor is it stingy. This is really the only way. It's not a lot. Actually, we've improved everyone's treatment recently. Otherwise, it would be even less in the past. There's no other way. With a situation like this, we have to use it sparingly. Otherwise, when a full-scale war comes, we can't fight and rob at the same time, can we? That's too unreliable. We have to leave some for the future. No one knows what the future will be like. If we don't leave some strategic reserves, how can we continue fighting? Li Jun said lightly. Zhang Tao isn't lying. We don't have much reserves. This is the only way. Fong Ping glanced at them. Not bad. I just said one sentence, and they're waiting for me to say something. Fine, I won't say any more. 5,000 Wuan soldiers. A year's salary is 60 caddies of energy stones. I finally understand. What's more, this was a top-notch troop. When I said that the school that defeated MCMAU would be rewarded with 100 caddies of energy stones. It's really a little too much. No wonder those schools were so excited. I've shown off too much of my wealth, so I've been targeted. Fong Ping sighed in his heart. He was too rich, so rich that he could rival a country. He had burned through 1/3 of the government's energy stone reserves this time. No wonder Zhang Tao was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Fong Ping did not reply. Don't look at me. I don't have any money now. It was all spent. Besides, even if I had the money, I wouldn't give it to you. We'll talk about it later. I'm here to see Wu Quishan. But in the end, the 3 great peaks are making such a scene, waiting for me here. What are they doing? Fong Ping felt helpless and complained for a while. Do you have to cry poor and act pitiful every time you see me? Chapter 792. Everyone did not say much about Wang Qinghai. MCMU really needed support now. Although old Zhang had sold a portion of the Wuan military along the way, this was also what MCMU urgently needed. Fong Ping did not intend to refuse. After confirming the matter of the Wuan military, Fong Ping quickly talked about the main topic of coming to capital city. Minister, how is the vice-chancellor's situation now? He's recovering well. Zhang Tao smiled faintly. It might be difficult to reach the peak, but if the recovery goes well, his strength will be much stronger than before. At this point, it's actually a good thing that he's not at the peak. How long will it take? It depends on the situation. It could happen any time. Fong Ping nodded slightly. Zhang Tao smiled again. Wu Quishan's rank 9 divine weapons self-destructed. It recovered this time. Do you still have rank 9 divine weapons? As soon as this was said, Li Jun could not help but cough softly. That? Divine weapons don't have to self-destruct every time. MCMU's use of divine weapons was too costly. Li Chongqing self-destructed once. Wu Quishan self-destructed twice. These were all rank 9 divine weapons. Just these 2 alone had self-destructed 3 rank 9 divine weapons. Speaking of this, Fong Ping said, this can't be helped. Divine weapons are not as valuable as lives. Self-destructing divine weapons to kill many rank 9s is still worth it. Having said that, a total of 10 rank 8 divine weapons appeared in Fong Ping's hands. Seeing him suddenly take out so many divine weapons, Zhang Tao subconsciously felt that something was wrong. As expected, the next moment, Fong Ping said, it's like this. Guo Shengquan and the other 2 vice-chancellors are using rank 8 divine weapons now. I brought them along this time. My own rank 8 divine weapon Changdao was also eliminated. Also, I obtained 6 rank 8 divine weapons in the catacombs this time. Fong Ping sighed. Now, 4 rank 9s don't have rank 9 divine weapons. I'm thinking if I can synthesize some rank 9 divine weapons with rank 8 divine weapons. I still have 10 rank 8 divine weapons and some rank 7 divine weapons. Dean Chen and the rest also need rank 8 divine weapons now. In short, MCMU has a huge shortage of divine weapons. Coincidentally, I'm coming to Capital City this time. I want to solve everything at once. Or the government doesn't have rank 9 divine weapons. I can use other divine weapons in exchange. The 3 of them looked at each other. So rich. Currently, there were already 10 rank 8 divine weapons, and he actually wanted to fuse the rank 8 divine weapons to forge a rank 9 divine weapon. The instructors of MCMAU had just broken through, and Fong Ping had already started to help them prepare the divine weapons of their current ranks. Zhang Tao said calmly, "Doesn't Lu Polu have a 9th grade divine weapon? He's only at the 1st refinement and hasn't even completed the 2nd refinement." "Why don't we let him?" Fong Ping interrupted him directly, smiling. "Minister, do you think these rank 8 divine weapons can be exchanged for rank 9 divine weapons? Otherwise, I'll have to trouble the few of you to help fuse it. The 3 of you are the heads of the 3 departments and are very powerful. Coincidentally, all of you are here." Zhang Tao glanced at him with slight regret. When a grade 8 divine weapon was melded into a grade 9 divine weapon, it could not be considered a fine product. It was somewhat incomplete. He might as well give 10 divine weapons to 10 rank 8 martial artists. It was more cost-effective and cost-effective. However, if Fong Ping insisted on doing so, there was nothing he could say. After thinking for a while, he said, "If we fuse 10 rank 8 divine weapons, I'm afraid we won't be able to fuse 4 rank 9 divine weapons. 3 will be the limit, and we'll need to add some more materials." As he said that, 3 gigantic golden stakes suddenly appeared in front of Fong Ping. He said, "This is the main trunk of the giant sunflower in Monster Sunflower City. It's a rank 9 origin powerhouse, but its brain and heart cores are shattered. Even so, its branches are still extremely valuable. Minister, if we add this, will it work?" "Yes." Zhang Tao glanced at it and nodded. 10 rank 8 divine weapons, plus this sunflower branch, should be enough to fuse into 3 rank 9 divine weapons. Then I'll have to trouble the 3 ministers. 3 rank 9 divine weapons were still not enough. Unless Fong Ping did not use them himself and gave them to Wu Quishan. 10 rank 8 divine weapons were actually extremely valuable, close to 500 billion. A rank 9 divine weapon was estimated to be around 100 billion each. It was actually not worth it to fuse them. However, rank 9 demons were hard to kill, and Fong Ping had not encountered many of them. Old Man Li and the rest had killed a monster plant before, but nothing was left. In that case, they had no way of getting the monster plant's carcass. If that's the case, we're still missing one. As for the other rank 8 divine weapons, it's best if we keep 3. After he said that, Zhang Tao smiled faintly. If we keep 3, then the remaining 7 and this sunflower can be used to forge 2 relatively strong rank 9 divine weapons. Fong Ping nodded slightly and said, "Minister, does the government have rank 9 divine weapons?" Zhang Tao pondered for a moment, then said, "In the capital city catacombs, we killed a monster this time, and it was preserved quite well. It could be used to forge rank 9 divine weapons, but, Minister, just name your price." Zhang Tao glanced at him. What a boastful tone. 20 rank 7 divine weapons in exchange. No problem. 40 rank 7 divine weapons. Minister, how about giving me 2? Fong Ping had obtained slightly more than 40 rank 7 divine weapons in the restricted area. This time he gave out a few more. Now, Mentality Vitality Fusion powerhouses could also use divine weapons. Zhou Shiping and the other newly promoted rank 7 martial artists had given out divine weapons before. With divine weapons in hand, he did not need to give them out anymore. 40 rank 7 divine weapons in exchange for 2 rank 9 divine weapons. Zhang Tao wanted to, but he was still missing one. He did not have any stock of this stuff. Whenever he got it, he would distribute it immediately so that people could use it to increase their combat strength. After thinking for a while, Zhang Tao suddenly coughed and said, Li Jun, give me a rank 9 divine weapon. Oh right, when you broke through that year, who did you give your rank 9 divine weapon to? You want it back now. MCMEU is going to war soon. You also use a sword. Just right, give it to Wu Quishan. You've nurtured that divine weapon of yours for many years. It's just right for Wu Quishan to use. Li Jun was a little confused. Mine? I gave mine to the Li family. Now you want me to take it back? Is this how you do things? How can I have the cheek to ask for it? Although he had left Star Town a long time ago, he had cultivated since he was young. The Li family had supported him a lot. When he reached the impasse, the divine weapon he used contained some will and origin. It was considered a treasure. The Li family had helped him a lot. Naturally, he gave it to them. Now, Zhang Tao actually wanted him to ask for it back. Was he Li Jun? Shameless? Would he still have the cheek to ask for help from the Li family in the future? Zhang Tao did not care about him. He laughed and said, there are rank 9 divine weapons left in Star Town. It's no big deal if you take them back. Get them back as soon as possible. This time, Fong Ping also gave a lot of resources to the military department. 2,000 caddies of energy stones. Previously, he also gave some energy stones to the Fallen Star Army. The rank 9 divine weapon that the military department's Tian Mu had was also given by Fong Ping. Now that I need it, I want you to give me some. Is that okay? Li Jun was speechless. After a while, he said, okay. Beside him, Nan Yunyue glanced at him, a little speechless. Did you forget something? Fong Ping also felt that Li Jun forgot something. I'm using divine weapons to exchange, not for nothing. In terms of value, 20 rank 7 divine weapons surpassed 1 rank 9 divine weapon. I'm not asking for it for nothing. You didn't even mention it. Did you forget, or did you not remember? Would Zhang Tao give it to him later? Forget it. This had nothing to do with him. Fong Ping felt that he had made a fair deal. He did not owe him a favor. 40 rank 7 divine weapons in exchange for 2 rank 9 divine weapons was actually a loss for him. Forget it. Old Zhang will at least give him some, right? Fong Ping did not care about this anymore. In this way, the divine weapons of the 4 rank 9 powerhouses were settled. The 3 myriad Dao unification divine weapons were also settled. Although he had spent all the divine weapons in his possession, it was still worth it. If a rank 9 powerhouse had an additional rank 9 divine weapon, even if it was used for self-destruction at a critical moment, it would still be of great use. Fong Ping was also very straightforward. He directly handed 7 rank 8 divine weapons and 40 rank 7 divine weapons, including the giant sunflower's trunk, to Zhang Tao. As for the remaining 3 rank 8 divine weapons, they would be left for Chen Zhenhua and the rest. After discussing this matter, Li Jun did not care about Zhang Tao anymore. He opened his mouth and said, Fong Ping, what are your plans for MCMU's counterattack this time? As he said that, he added, right now, the rank 9s that can be mobilized are only the 43 on the ranking list. Our absolute peak is not counted among them. Including some rank 9s in Polaris City, we can also mobilize them now. Other than the 4 from MCMEU and the other 23 catacombs rank 9s who are holding the fort, the Forbidden Catacombs also needs them. After all, there are still demons in there. There are still 16 rank 9s that can be mobilized. However, for these 16, we are preparing to arrange for 3 to 5 people in Xishan Catacombs. Shijiang Catacombs. I'm afraid we need more people, Li Jun said seriously. In Shijiang Catacombs, in order to lure Zhang Weiyu in and kill him, they will mobilize a lot of people. Not to mention that there is a top-notch powerhouse and origin path among them. In this way, including Zhang Weiyu, we need to prepare at least 5 people. Therefore, the rank 9 martial artists who can really be transferred to Magic City can only be 5 at most. We still have to reserve a few rank 9 martial artists to support all sides at any time. Having said that, Li Jun continued, on MCMU's side, if Wu Quishan wakes up, that'll be 4 rank 9s. In addition to transferring 5 or so, I'm afraid you can only recruit 9 rank 9 martial artists. As for the 18 rank 9s we're facing, 1 against 2, there was still hope. But to kill or defeat him was practically impossible. However, there were variables in MCMAU. Li Changsheng was also comparable to a top-notch rank 9, so Fong Ping could also treat him as a rank 9. Actually, it was 11 versus 18. Seeing that Fong Ping was about to speak, Zhang Tao suddenly said mildly, "Don't say you don't need it. This was no child's play. If you're willing to risk the lives of MCMU's people, that's your business. However, the Battle of Demonic City concerns the overall situation, so I can't let you do as you please. Do you really expect to rely on MCMAU to counterattack? Did you really think that 18 rank 9 powerhouses on the other side were made of mud that you could break with a single poke? When we say that the Catacombs' outer domain rank 9s are no good, that's based on the situation where they don't risk their lives. They have the advantage, so under normal circumstances, they're not willing to risk their lives. Once they risk their lives, how many rank 9 are there really weaklings? 18 rank 9s. Once they risk their lives, with MCMU's strength, you'll be wiped out in one battle. You can pick the 5 rank 9s yourself. However, some of them can't go. Do as you see fit." Fong Ping was silent for a while, then said, "Guardian Wu, Commander Tian Mu, Minister Wang, Senior Chen Yaozu, Senior Chen 7. These 5 are enough." When everyone heard the names he said, they were slightly surprised, then they understood. Wu Chuan and Tian Mu were from MCMAU, so naturally, they would give their all. The Chen family's 2 rank 9s were saved by Fong Ping. It could be said that they owed Fong Ping their lives. As for Minister Wang, since he was at the right time and went to MCMAU at this time, then it was not strange that Fong Ping happened to pick him. Zhang Tao said slowly, "Just these 5 people? You have to know that Wang Qinghai has just broken through not long ago, and so has Tian Mu. You can pick 2 more rank 9 martial artists who are slightly stronger." Fong Ping shook his head and said, "No need. Guardian Wu and Senior Chen Yaozu are both top-notch rank 9 powerhouses. It's enough. If the Vice-Chancellor is awake, the 3 of them can fight 1 against 2. I'm talking about the Origin Path powerhouses. They can win. In addition to Instructor Li, those 7 Origin Path powerhouses, the 4 of us will have the absolute advantage. As for the remaining 11 rank 9s, Guoxingqiuan's 3 instructors and Senior Chen 7 are also Origin Path martial artists. If it's 1 against 2, it won't be a problem to kill them. Senior Tian and Minister Wang only need to block the remaining 3 rank 9s. Fong Ping smiled and said, "In this way, although we can't defeat these people in a short time, it's more than enough for us to hold them back. 18 rank 9s are nothing to be afraid of. As for me, I can still spare my hands. As long as I kill those rank 7 and 8 martial artists quickly, kill all of them. After that, I can help the instructors. I can definitely kill a large number of rank 9 powerhouses." Fong Ping gritted his teeth and said, "This time, I want to fight the Catacombs." However, the 3 ministers also know that if too many rank 9s die, it may cause the true kings to be angry. When that happens, it will not be something that MCMAU can control. Therefore, in my opinion, the outer domain is not the key to MCMAU's counterattack. The key is still those true kings in Mount Imperial Sea. Fong Ping frowned slightly. After thinking for a while, he said, "This time, I'm afraid that the 2 true kings will not be able to suppress them. It's also possible that they will enter the outer domain directly. After all, I'm not only thinking of killing these powerhouses, but also a large number of weak ones. Now, MCMAU has more than 4,000 middle-rank martial artists. If we add the 5,000 people from Wuhan military, and about 1/3 of them are middle-ranked, then the number of middle-ranked martial artists will be close to 6,000. With 6,000 middle-ranked martial artists as an army, we can directly sweep through the cities. This time, I want to directly wipe out Magic City Catacombs. Even if we can't completely wipe them out, I don't want to see the existence of any catacomb cities 1,000 li in front of Hope City." Zhang Tao and the others looked at each other. Li Zhen looked at Zhang Tao. "The 2 of you discussed it, right? This kid wants to fight the catacombs. Are you worried that he can't lure the true kings to attack? Actually, they did not expect Fong Ping to prepare to fight the catacombs. They thought that this guy's goal this time was to counterattack and take back Hope City and Demon City. Now, Fong Ping did not even consider these things. He wanted to wipe out Magic City catacombs. The catacombs battle. Zhang Tao suddenly felt a headache coming on. This matter was a little troublesome. If they did this, it might be a little more serious than he expected. There were only so many outer domains. After wiping out the Forbidden Catacombs, they almost wiped out Tianan Catacombs last time. Now, they wanted to directly wipe out Magic City Catacombs. How could those true kings not go crazy? Fong Ping saw that they were pondering and sighed. If the government feels that the pressure is too much, then don't fight the Catacombs battle. We can take back Hope City and Demon City and stand firm again. Zhang Tao sighed. Fighting the Catacombs battle might be more complicated. Fong Ping, the Catacombs battle is different from the Forbidden Catacombs in Tianan. For those two catacombs, the Catacombs battle is not active but passive. Both sides have reached an agreement. Life and death are fated. Actually, there are no surprises. This time, the counterattack will obviously not be negotiated. That is, humans will take the initiative to destroy the catacombs and provoke a war. If that's the case, I'm afraid the catacombs' true kings will not tolerate it. Fong Ping struggled. Then forget it. We'll try to kill as many people as possible to weaken 7 Southern Territories' strength. Zhang Tao hesitated. After a moment, he suddenly sighed. Forget it. You always feel that I don't support MCMAU enough. Then this time, since you want to do this, then risk your life to accompany me. I'll gamble with the fate of Sino Nation. Zhang Tao's expression was solemn. In the next moment, he said solemnly, this is the first time humans took the initiative to launch such a battle. Now that the war is imminent, since the catacombs will fight sooner or later, then we'll fight with them. Fong Ping, if many true kings really enter the catacombs, then we'll fight to the end. Li Jun, go and inform the 12 desperate realms in Star Town. This time we'll fight. Tell the other 5 holy lands that if the catacombs' true kings invade, this time it will be the final battle of humans. It will come sooner or later. Since the catacombs' true kings are unwilling to abide by the rules, it means that humans are in imminent danger. Let's fight. This time, global powerhouses, get ready for war. If the other party dares to invade, we'll fight to the end, even if we die. Zhang Tao's tone was solemn. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was stunned. Is there a need for that? If it's really stressful, I'll just do it after some consideration. In the end, I didn't even say that I have to do this, but you're good. You want to inform the global powerhouses directly and get ready for a final battle. Minister, say no more. Zhang Tao was all smiles. He looked at Fong Ping and said kindly, everyone has to die. It's just a matter of time. Just do as you wish. It's just a battle. At our age, we've already gotten over it. Don't worry. If the catacombs' true kings dare to invade, then we'll fight to the end. This time, even if 30 to 50 true kings come, we won't give up on anyone. We'll fight to the last moment and give it our all. We won't hesitate. Zhang Tao's tone was firm. He shouted, inform all departments and armies to get ready for an all-out war. At most, a war between the two worlds will erupt. Minister, say no more. Zhang Tao interrupted Fong Ping again. He said in a low voice, it's nothing. If we die, we'll be the first to die. If we're all dead, we won't be able to protect you. But as long as we're not dead, the catacombs' true kings can forget about taking a step into the outland. We have our guts too. We've had enough of days like this. Since you, Fong Ping, aren't afraid of death, why should we be? We'll turn the world upside down. Fong Ping was dumbfounded. Was old Zhang too impulsive? Were they not still discussing it? You're about to erupt an all-out war between the two worlds. Was it necessary? If an all-out war were to erupt at this time, humans were not completely prepared. They did not have enough strength either. Was it really good? Minister, why don't we discuss it again? I think if it really leads to the outbreak of a war between the two worlds, then we won't fight on such a large scale. We'll just kill 3 to 5 rank 9s and take back Hope City and Devil City. That won't do. Zhang Tao shouted. You want to avenge MCMAU. MCMAU is of one mind too. You want to wash away the humiliation. Sino Nation will definitely go all out and support you in this. If martial artists don't even dare to take revenge and do not kill when they can, wouldn't that be a grieving? The pinnacle is a grieving enough. How can we let the new generation be like us, controlled by others? If you want to do it, then do it. Fong Ping, go all out in this battle. Don't hold back. Kill as many as you can. Destroy the catacombs if you can. We'll bear all the consequences. Zhang Tao said it with a strong sense of righteousness and righteousness. Beside him, Li Jun and Nan Yunyue looked at each other again. What should they say? This kid Fong Ping. What was he thinking now? Fong Ping was a little surprised. He was also surprised by Zhang Tao's determination. This person had always been afraid that he would cause big trouble. More than 10 true kings were hunting him previously. This made him feel that he had caused too much trouble. He thought that if he said that it might cause a war between the true kings, Zhang Tao would change his plan. Who knew? Not only did he not refuse, but he also fully supported it. He even said that he would not hesitate to erupt an all-out war between the two worlds. Was it true? Could it be that old Zhang felt that he owed MCMU before and had thought it through this time to fully support MCMAU? But was it necessary? I didn't want to trigger a war between the two worlds at this time. Fong Ping was not stupid. If he could fight, then fight. If he could not fight, although it was frustrating, it was enough to kill some people and take back the Magic City catacombs. Minister, are you really going to fight even if the war between the two worlds breaks out? Of course. Zhang Tao said calmly. If you can fight, why not? You Fong Ping are wanted by the catacombs. The 108 territories want to kill you. Since they dare to do this, why can't you fight back? Humans are weak, but humans haven't knelt yet. We're still alive. We haven't reached the point of begging for our lives on our knees. If we don't fight, the catacombs will look down on us. At most, we'll die. Fong Ping wanted to shake his head. What was wrong with old Zhang? Fong Ping thought about it and looked at him suspiciously. After a while, he said, Minister, what's your plan? Zhang Tao's expression changed. He said seriously, Plan? The plan is for humans to win. Do you think I'll give up the whole of MCMAU and the many rank 9 powerhouses? When the time comes, I'll allow you to surrender when the catacombs' true kings come. If we can't stop the true kings, you'll die without a doubt. When that time comes, you should surrender. I've said it before, unless we die in battle at Mount Royal Sea, there will be no true kings in the other territories. This is the Iron Law. Fong Ping did not know what to say for a while. After a long while, Fong Ping said in a low voice, I understand. Thank you for your support, Minister. You must win. Zhang Tao said earnestly, softly. If you win, that's the best reward. Also, try to reduce the number of casualties. The reason we're guarding the first line of defense at Mount Royal Sea is to prevent humans from dying. We don't want you to die for real. Fong Ping nodded solemnly. He said seriously, Absolutely not. I'm here in this battle. Only the catacombs' martial artists will die. That's good. Zhang Tao laughed heartily. He did not care about the ultimate battle that might break out next. Fong Ping had an indescribable feeling. Was it right for me to blindly want to destroy the Magic City catacombs' martial artists? Others could tolerate it. But could MCMU not? Fong Ping could not tolerate it? Why did he have to provoke a war between the two realms this time? Fong Ping's thoughts ran wild. Maybe he should restrain himself and stop the war after taking over Hope City and Demon City. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor, that you're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.